What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. Reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. Wagwan. Yeah, I need to change that. I do sell comics because I don't sell comics. And people be hitting me up. But yeah, man, sixth element of hip hop. I'm your host, Reno. This is my co-host, Stu Dog. What's good, Stu? It's Monday. Yeah, man, Monday the 13th. This is my Monday shirt. From now on, this is just my Monday shirt. Shout out to my man over there at Vintage Rush. Make sure y'all check him out. Make sure y'all go. Yeah, bro.
Get one of them joints, man.
Get over there,
I gotta
man.
get over there and get one of them dope shirts, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get one this week.
You got to. I mean, you know, it. Like I said, man, this is my Monday shirt, and I'm gonna get another one. That's gonna be my. So once you get one of these shirts, I'm telling y'all, you're gonna want to wear it like as much as you possibly can. You gonna want to wear that shit at least once a week. You know, you ain't gonna want to wear it too much because you don't want to wear it out. I've only worn this short one other day, so this is the second time I've ever worn it, and I'm telling y'all, man, you really will be happy that you got it. When you get that shirt, you're gonna be like, man, this shit is well worth it. It's so gorgeous. And my dudes, Corey, what's good? Corey and Slade, salute.
I just salute.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, we got a cool show today. Some cool shit to show y'all and things to talk about. And one of my favorite things, y'all know G.I. Joe is my favorite joint right now, the new figures that they've been coming out with, and I'm just super excited. Me and Stu been waiting on these two specific characters. We've been waiting. Really, I've been waiting on two myself, and he's been waiting on one in particular, and they finally are here, and it's Shipwreck. You know what I'm saying? That's Stu's homie right there. And it's he come with the bird, the shotgun, the pistol, he got some rope, he got a grappling hook, he's got the holsters all over, fully kitted out, man. They really hooked up this figure. He looks just like the vintage, like the 80s version, man. Love it.
Yeah, bro, I can't wait. I can't wait to get mine. I can't wait.
Yeah, dog.
Get Shipwreck. I've been waiting for Shipwreck for the longest.
I know.
I was like, they ain't gonna never bring him out, man. They never.
I know. Well, they keep putting up these lists of the figures that they're gonna put out, and they never put Tunnel Rat. So Tunnel Rat's my guy. That's the guy I've been wanting. They never put Tunnel Rat on the list. He was on some list of like way down the list perspective, you know, stuff they might do in the future. So I thought it was gonna be forever before I got Tunnel Rat, but man, he looks amazing. The face paint is dope. He's got the paint on his arms. Love the fingerless gloves. He's got the sniper rifle, he's got the two night vision flashlights that he came with. He's got night vision goggles that he can put on. Got the revolver, the removable clip. Man,
sniper.
fully kitted out. Yeah, the removable clip, the scope on the sniper rifle. Great loadout, man.
You got two boom beams, backpack. Yeah, that's a lot.
If you remember that when we was kids, right? The first Tunnel Rat, he had a backpack with two flashlights that you could put in and take out. And you know, every kid always lost the flashlights because there were these two tiny little flashlights, you know, little G.I. Joe size flashlights. And they went in his backpack. So that's dope that they, you know, kept that. And then the other guy I've been waiting on is Copperhead, man. I don't know why, but I always thought he was just a really great looking character. The colors were dope. His mask looked really cool. And you couldn't buy Copperhead from the store. You had to buy, well, I mean, you could buy it from the store, but you had to buy the vehicle. He came with the vehicle. He was a driver of the swamp, I think it was the water moccasin, something like that. It was a hovercraft for the swamp and shit. And you had to buy that. He had the silver. He's got the silver cobra symbol on his chest. This one, this figure
and he's got the knife. He didn't have a knife back then. He's got a side on.
Yeah, big ass knife. He's got a thing on his back, a back sling, a back holster, where on his back he's got a big ass gun. I think it's like a shotgun or something like that, and it goes in the back holster that slings over his back. Super, super like, swamp bayou type shit. Very cool, cool looking. And like you pointed out, looking like he's knock kneed or bow legged, like he a real swamp dude. Shit.
Yeah, like
Very
you're real, like you're real on the backwater jokers,
bayou.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
dope,
gave us
man.
it's fire, bro. And speaking of fire, they gave us a Firefly figure that was one of the, first ones that came out, and I was super excited because he's one of my favorite characters. And they gave him this big giant bomb, like what's the bomb squad? They wear the big giant vests, the big bomb vest that come from his neck way down to his like fucking to his nuts, and it was like this big cumbersome thing. It's like that's not what Firefly looked like. I don't know why they did that shit. So they gave us a new one. They finally did justice, and that's the new Firefly coming out, and he looks dope.
That's dope.
What the first one they gave us came with a little drone, a little a remote control drone that it doesn't obviously really fly or anything, but it's a cool little drone. And it looks like here they give him what looks like a remote control vehicle, like a remote control car or something like that. Looks like down there, or maybe a couple of spare wheels, and then he's got the SMG with the silencer, the removable clip, Tonto knife, night vision goggles. Looks like the backpack has some gear in it. Very cool looking figure there. And one I'm super excited about, bro, Low Light.
Like
That is a badass looking
like
guy.
Low
When we were
Light look
kids, he was a
official.
cool character, but he didn't look this cool when we were kids, man. He had a big ass head.
Nah,
He looked goofy.
yeah, nah, he look
I
like
never
this
really
now.
liked him. I didn't like him as a kid. He looked goofy, but this guy looks dope, man. He's like a sniper. He's got the night vision. He's all black. Love that sniper rifle case.
That's what I think is dope. The dopest thing about him. They go
Yeah.
into the case, man.
Hell yeah.
That's paid. That's paying way too much attention to
Mhm.
detail, but I like
Yeah.
it.
And this guy that's coming too. Deep Six. No, that's
Torpedo.
not Deep Six. Torpedo. Right. Torpedo. It looks like a fish tank, a fish tank toy thing that floats in your fish tank. But no, he's got. I think this guy comes with more gear than anybody, man. Just as far as a single figure coming with gear, I mean, he's really kitted out. Looks like he's got most of it on him right there. Of course, the goggles and snorkel and scuba tank. He's got the flippers and the spear gun and the knife, and comes with a bunch of shit. And then another one that I'm really, really, really was excited about that I didn't think we were gonna get for a while is fucking Snow Job.
Snow Job is a fan favorite as well.
Absolutely.
And he got two heads. And he got a head with the hood pulled back. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we were kids, you couldn't take the hood off, obviously, and he had the goggles and shit. But yeah, that's a great looking figure he comes with. I love that he came with skis when I was a kid. Like just a figure that came, a little G.I. Joe that came with skis was so cool. He was the only figure that came with skis, and we used to have him, sliding them down dirt hills and shit.
Yeah, or snow hills when it snowed where you lived at. But
right, yeah. If you live near
he was
snow.
definitely a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm. Some cool photography there with him.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's dope.
So when you look at some of the photos, when you zoom in really close and look in the background, you see a snow bat. This bat has not been advertised, mentioned, talked about, pointed out, or even acknowledged. It's just lurking in the background of this photo of Snow Job. You see, I had to zoom way in and it's all foggy. So looks like he's got a blue lens for his face. And obviously he's all white with the gray. Very cool looking bat, man. Definitely be looking out for that. Because they've got a couple different bats right now. There's a few different colors, but there's a crimson bat. It's kind of like the Crimson Guard, and there's the Python Patrol bat. Yeah, regular bat. And I've been hearing that they were gonna put out a female Cobra Trooper which they're putting out a 2-pack, and she looks pretty fucking cool. Well, they both do. The helmets look cool on these guys. The helmets go way out in a
I
really
like
cool
that
way.
detail. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I like
and the
that
mask,
detail.
really cool. Yeah, I totally dig it. And it looks like they both have different color boots. The one has like yellow, like a beigeish, whatever that is, and then of course, obviously, they have different color equipment and stuff, but they're two distinct, different characters that will come in a 2-pack, so it'll probably be like $50. And speaking of 2-packs or whatever, so remember Snake Eyes? They came out with Snake Eyes, and he came with the dog, and it came with Timber, and then you had Crocmaster, obviously came with the crocodile, and they came in an
Yeah.
extra big box, and they were about twice instead of $25, they're about $45. And this release version of that is going to be Scrap Iron. And you can see what he comes with, his little tank, his little missile launcher tank, and some really cool fire and explosion effects.
Yeah, dope, bro. That is dope. I like that.
Oh man, you can't see. He's got a cool face sculpt. It's too the small picture was too small, but one of his eyes is like scarred up. He's got like big scars, maybe burns or something. He just looks really brutal. He's got like this really badass, and he's got like a kind of like a mohawk, faux hawk kind of thing, and yeah, the battle damage on his head, really cool looking figure. And he normally wears a helmet, which you can see there on the box art. And you can see there that comes with the little helmet there, removable helmet and all of that. And then Bazooka, we had the Tiger Force. Finally, we get the regular Bazooka. Cool looking fig. What's going on in there? Okay, Sada will be tapping in real soon. Cool. Corey said that first animated G.I. Joe movie is a classic. Copped on DVD. Absolutely. Original Origin, salute. What's good? What is this? How I want to offer promotion of your channel viewers. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality guarantee that's auto on. Incredibly flexible and convenient order management. Wow. DM me, bro, on IG. Hit me on the gram.
What does he want?
At
What does he want?
6th_element_comics. I don't know. It's some offering he's got like a promo service, where they probably help you advertise your channel and stuff. But anywho, Rock and Roll is one of the very first G.I. Joe figures ever made back in the days. He came from the very first
100%.
series. Mm-hmm. Came from the first series.
Yeah, he was in that first run.
Yeah.
Was it? Can you remember the first one? I know it was Stalker.
Not all 13 of them, but
I mean, like the first, because they released them in waves. Remember? Can you remember the first wave?
The first wave was 13. It was
I'm saying how they released them. Like, can you remember the first ones? Because they didn't give us all 13 at one time. Remember, they gave them to us a couple of.
Well, I thought they did. Maybe if they did.
Because I remember when I first saw them, the only ones I saw first was Stalker, Doc, Rock and Roll, and Breaker.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. You're a little older than I was, so you probably were more conscious of what was going on at the time. But
I know one person that definitely knows. When we were kids. I know one person that definitely knows. Well, yeah, Jamal. I know he'll probably remember. Because I remember he was like one of the first people to have him in the neighborhood. And we was like, yo, like we were all drooling over them joints, like, yo. And I think he had Breaker and Rock and Roll. And he had the motorcycle. Yeah, we was like, yeah, bro, we was drooling over. I think you got the motorcycle, right?
I do. I have the classified motorcycle. I had the motorcycle when I was a kid too. Yeah. But I have the classified one. Yeah. But so this is the first. This is the first series that came. It was like you got Stalker there, Rock and Roll there with the yellow beard and the bullet chest vest thing, Snake Eyes in the background. Scarlet, I don't see, but she should be up here.
Scarlet was, I think she was wave 2. Maybe, I don't remember any females in wave 1. I don't remember any female. I remember when Scarlet came out, we was tripping over Scarlet. We liked the way she looked.
Look at this. This is a modern version of the original run, the original 9. One guy's got bubble gum. He's blowing a bubble. The guy all the way far left, and then you got Laser. Is his name Laser? I think on the right with the orange pad,
no, it's
or Zap or some shit.
it's on the tip of my tongue.
Flash,
It's
Laser, Zap, some shit like that.
Nah, it was keep going. It'll come to me. Just keep going. It'll come to me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the that's what they say is the first wave, but the original. There we go. Here we go. All right, G.I. Joe, Wave 1. Straight arm, single carded figures. Breaker.
Flash was his name.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Officer, Flash, Grunt, Rock and Roll, Short Fuse, Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Stalker, a vehicle driver, Clutch, and Grand Slam, and Hawk and Steeler. Mail-ins, Cobra Commander. Okay, let me see. Oh, this is pretty cool. Huh. Check this out.
Don't forget about Grunt.
I said Grunt. They said Grunt. Yeah, he's one of them. Here is a. Oh, you can't see that yet. Here we go. So Wave 1 and 1.5 was 1982 and 1983. Then Wave 2 was 1983, which had Gung Ho and Destro. Yeah. 3 was 80. So what happens when you click one?
I remember in 84 they came out with it. I think they had Blowtorch, Cutter.
Oh, there it is.
Deep Six, Mutton Junkyard, Wakanda, Ripcord.
All right, so this is their first wave. Breaker, Cobra Officer, Flash, Rock and Roll, Grunt, Scarlet, Short Fuse, Zap, Stalker, and Snake Eyes. I knew it was a guy named Zap. And then the vehicle drivers. Yeah, Clutch, Grand Slam, Hawk, and Steeler.
Steeler was in the tank. He was the one that drove the Mauler.
Mm-hmm. One of these guys drove the motorcycle. Maybe that was Clutch.
I think it was Clutch. Clutch had the motorcycle. Yeah. I think he come. I think he came with the motorcycle. If I'm not mistaken.
One of them, yeah, one of them.
Yeah, I think it had to be Clutch. But every time you saw like the cartoon or the comic, it was always Breaker. That was on that joint.
Oh, nice. This is bringing back memories. This was kind of where I came in. This is Wave 2, 1984. Destro, or 1983. Destro, Doc, Gung Ho. They need to make a Doc. They need to make a Doc. Yeah, here's Snow Job and Torpedo. So these two are coming out. Major Blood's already got a classified Major Blood. Tripwire, I will be surprised if they make, but Gung Ho, they should be having a Doc pretty soon. Airborne. Cover Girl, they already made a Cover Girl.
I do want Sergeant Slaughter. That is another one I want. I do want Sergeant.
He's available. You can get him right now for like $30-$40.
Yeah, we get Sarge, man. I want
Sergeant Slaughter. It looks pretty good too. It's a pretty good looking fig. Yeah, Cover Girl. That's weird. So Scarlet didn't come out yet? Okay. Let's go. Where we at? Cover Girl came out before Scarlet. Interesting. No, she came out in the first wave, didn't she?
Scarlet was in the first wave.
Yeah,
she had to be.
She was.
She had to be. Because Cover Girl came out. I think she was like 83, 84.
Yeah,
she was like, and then we got Lady Jack.
And mail-ins, you could mail in and get Duke or Major Blood.
I remember that. Bro, it took forever. I want everybody to know out there it took forever. 6 to 8 weeks.
Torturous.
Standard shipping back then. 6 to 8 weeks. Everything. Yeah, it was. Everything was 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. Sent off Sea Monkeys, 6 to 8 weeks.
That's it. Look at these, man. Blowtorch, Baroness,
Oh,
Firefly,
Blowtorch.
Duke.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Mutton
Roadblock.
Junkyard.
Yeah,
Rakondo's
Junkyard.
already out. Ripcord,
Low light.
Roadblock. I got
Yeah, low
Roadblock.
light.
Storm Shadow
Mainframe.
dropped. See, Spirit and Storm Shadow right there. Spirit and Storm
Yep.
Shadow together, and there's Scrap Iron. So this is
Scrap
the
Iron.
guy he's the one that they just came out with. So that's cool.
Okay.
And Copperhead right there.
Copperhead.
Vehicle Drivers, Cutter, the Cobra
Chuckles.
Sting.
Chuckles came out later too. Chuckles came
Let
out.
me put
Chuckles came out like 87, 88. Chuckles, Jinx,
yeah,
Knockdown, Law and
Zartan.
Order, Lieutenant Falcon. Look at Zartan.
Zartan was my
Zartan was
favorite
in it.
figure, bro. He
Yes,
turned
yes,
blue and shit.
yes.
Yeah. And Hooded Cobra
Yes.
Commander version 2. That that was the mail. This was the first mail-in I did was Cobra Commander, Hooded Cobra Commander. That was when I did the mail, and that was what 1984. 1984. And then Wave 4 is who's Wave 4?
There's Tunnel Rat and all of them.
I think Wave 4. I think Tunnel Rat's in 4 or 5. Let's see. Alpine, Airtight, Barbecue, and there's Barbecue and Bazooka. Eels. I want an eel. They need to make eels. Dusty,
The
they
eels are
got.
dope.
Yep.
Dusty
Crimson
was
Guard,
dope.
I
Dusty,
got.
Crimson Guard.
Dusty was way cooler, man. This Classified's Dusty is trash. I'm really upset because the original Dusty, as you see, had a real cloth thing on his helmet. It was made of cloth.
Yeah.
Well, the Classified one's a plastic, like a hard plastic fucking. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a ripoff, man. And then Buzzer, I can't wait till they drop Buzzer. There's my guy Flint, and they already got Flint.
I'll definitely get the Dreadnoughts.
You know what's funny? The Flint looks great, and Flint was one of my favorite figures. He looked the coolest. He had the beret. He looked really cool, and he had the black shirt. In the cartoon, he wears a brown shirt, and like I think I want to say black green pants, something like that. But the figure, he wears a black shirt. Lady J, I got Lady J. Quick Kick. They need to make Quick Kick. I'm surprised they haven't made Quick Kicks yet.
They need to make a fridge, dial tone. We need fridge.
Shipwreck.
Yeah, he didn't even make Quick Kick.
No, this is when the dope Snake Eyes came out. This is the Snake Eyes. I like, yeah.
You know, Snake Eyes is such a fan favorite that we got more than one version of him.
Yeah, several versions of Snake Eyes.
Matter of fact, you're right about that, Reno. That Snake Eyes was the second one that came out was the one that everybody liked.
Yeah, the one with the visor.
With the visor, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frostbite. Forgot about Frostbite. Dang.
Lifeline.
Heavy Metal. These guys drove
Lifeline.
vehicles. Yeah.
Crankcase. Lifeline, lift ticket, and low light.
Toll booth. Fucking like a phone guy. Check him out. Is there like a hard hat and shit? Oh, that's weird. They made a red tripwire. I hope they don't make him a classified figure. Who's Starduster? Mail-ins? Starduster
was the jetpack trooper. That was the jetpack trooper. I used to want him. I wanted him bad. You had to mail off for that joke.
Oh, and then they show the play sets that came out at that time. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even scroll down on the other ones. I forgot all these little shits. The Awe Striker was my favorite vehicle that they made, bro. It's funny, the Awe Striker, the Dune Buggy, and the motorcycle were like my favorite vehicles they made. And I had the aircraft carrier, I had the jets, I had the Terror Dome, I had every fucking thing G.I. Joe made. I shit you not. And my favorite thing were the little simple shit. Because they rolled the best. They had the best wheels and shit you could do. I don't know. They just function the best.
Just keep going. I'll show you Muzz if they got it on.
Battle Gear Pack, the Crimson Tank. Look at that.
Wow, look at the Crimson Tank.
Yo, the motorized
the bridge
tank.
layer. Always wanted a bridge layer. I thought
layer.
That shit was cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
Bridge layer. Yeah, checkpoint. I had these little Cobra bunkers and shit. Because you know why I had all this shit? I had all this. The little boat, the flight bubble. I always wanted
the trouble bubble, but never got
I had the Mauler. The Mauler was remote control.
Yeah,
one of these tanks was remote control. I remember. They G.I. Joe put out something that was remote control. They have I think it's a Dune Buggy. Yeah, it was a Dune Buggy. They have a remote control Dune Buggy.
It wasn't the Mauler. You can make go like left and right. Yeah, like you had to push the top of it, make it go left and right.
I had this the hydrofoil. That was the it was like the Dreadnoughts boat or something. Hydrofoil. Oh, here's the Oh, I didn't have this. I never even saw this before. The Silver Mirage motorcycle. Yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah.
Century
Snake
System.
battle armor. I had one of
battle
those.
armor. Yeah.
I got one of those for Christmas one year.
Okay, that's Frostbite. The Snowcat. I had the Snowcat. I thought Snow
Yeah.
Job came with the Snowcat. It was Frostbite.
Nah, it was Frostbite. Because remember, he laid down in that joint. He laid down when he drove it on his stomach.
The USS Flag. Dog. I had that joint.
I don't care what anybody tell you.
And look, there's none on eBay. You can't even get one.
Yeah, that's the holy grail of toys right there.
Yeah, it was. All right, let me see. I think Sada is here. Oh, no. I thought she popped in.
Weapon transport. I don't remember.
Man, that's cool. I hope everybody's not like, man, what the fuck y'all talking about? G.I. Joe. But we just running down memory lane and shit real quick. We just chilling today, man. It's hanging out. Let me see. What do we got? Who came out in Wave? Oh, this was a great. This is
that was a good wave. That right there, that wave with Dr. Mindbender, that was a good wave.
Beachhead, the Bat.
Beachhead, the Bats.
Dialed Tone, fucking okay. They had Lifeline, Iceberg, Leatherneck, Hawk. There's Low Light. We were just talking about Low Light. Version 2 of Roadblock. He was a very popular version. Monkey Wrench, Mainframe. I remember getting Mainframe. Wetsuit they need to make. Zarana they made. There's the Viper. They made the Viper. When I say they made, I mean Classified. So Classified has remade a Zarana, and they've made a Viper. They need to make a Wetsuit because Wetsuit was a very cool looking diver. And Xandar, I expect him coming out pretty soon. And what Special Missions Brazil. I had none of these.
That makes two
Wetsuit version 2. Yeah, I never even saw these. I don't know where they sold these. Not on the East Coast.
Probably in Brazil.
Right. Vehicle driver.
I've been to Brazil. But I didn't see him when I was down there. I definitely would have bought him back.
Serpentor, Sergeant Slaughter, and Thrasher.
Serpentor.
Yeah, and these are considered vehicle drivers because there's Thrasher. Because I had the vehicle he came with. It was the that was the Dreadnoks car. What was it called? The damn Thrasher.
He drove the
I don't know why I'm tripping. Let me scroll down and look at it. It's right. It's got to be right down here. Okay. I had the Night Raven, the Black Jet. I had the Night Raven.
I had the Cobra Stun. I had that.
Yeah, that was cool. Cobra Stun.
Because it splits in two. It splits in two. Yeah, I had that.
Oh, that's right. Yep. There's the Terradome, the Conquest had that. Dreadnought Air Assault. Those are cool. Devilfish. Dreadnought Ground Assault. Huh. And the Dreadnought. I had the Swamp Fire. This Ground Assault. I don't even know what that is. This is what I had. The Thunder Machine. There it is.
Yeah, the Thunder Machine.
Yeah, that came.
That's the one they advertised the most. Was the Thunder Machine? That's a commercial for that joint.
Yeah, it seemed like it too. Recon Sled. I had that. That was a weird little thing. Had the little 3 wheels.
I remember the Recon Sled. Yeah.
That was weird. And then there's Serpentor with his air.
Yeah. Chariot with his. Yep.
Oh, I never had the Tomahawk. This is dope. A big ass helicopter.
Yeah. Yes. Never had it. But the commercial made it seem like it was the coolest thing in the world.
Didn't it?
I always wanted one, but can never get one.
Yeah, I know. The Triple T. His little weird little tank with his little buddies. Sergeant Slaughter is hilarious. All right, let's see. I'm having fun, y'all. I really dig this shit, so sorry. Oh shit. Where we at? 1987. Big Boa and Chuckles. Yo, that was a dope. This was a dope fucking wave right here, bro. Cobra Commander version 3. I had these dudes.
Battle Armor. Battle Armor Cobra Commander. Stockmaster, yeah.
Vincent
Crystal
Price.
Ball.
Yeah.
I remember
Price
him too.
Yeah. Oh, there's Falcon. Okay, so they made a G.I. Joe classified version of Falcon, which I really don't care for because this looks too plain. It doesn't look recognizable. It looks like it could be any action figure army guy. There's nothing iconic about it. That's why I didn't get it. That's why I won't buy it. Mm. Mm. These are great. Gung Ho in the fucking dress blues.
Oh, Jinx.
I had
Yeah,
him.
I had that. I
Jinx.
had him.
Jinx was great. Oh,
Jinx.
there's Outback. See, they made an Outback.
Yeah, they
And this
did
is
do
one
an
of my
Outback.
favorite waves. Yeah, they have an Outback
Law
for
and Order.
classified.
I forgot about Law and Order. I
Yeah.
literally forgot about
He
Law
came
and
with a
Order.
dog. He had a dog
Yes, he
named
did. He
Order.
did not. Order. Yep.
Yeah, or one of them's Law, one of them's Order. He was the MP with the dog. Oh man, that's cool. Outback, and there's my guy right there, Tunnel Rat, Raptor. Yeah, I had all those. The Techno
I
Viper.
remember all these jokers. Yeah, because
Oh,
Raptor
Tunnel
was
Rat.
like an owl, like he was like an owl or something like that.
Yeah, he was like a hawk or some shit. Raptor hawk. Yeah, and he came with a hawk too. He had a little toy hawk. See.
Yeah, see, that was dope.
Uh, he was a bad guy. Oh,
Yes, he
wow.
was.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he was.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Cobra Falconer. He was a yuppie tax consultant. Let me read this. So these were great. These things. It said Raptor was a yuppie tax consultant who took up falconry as a pastime and soon became obsessed with the avian blood sport. He discovered that by breeding bigger and stronger birds and equipping them with steel-tipped talons, they were capable of attacking much more profitable game. Caught poaching on a cobra mink ranch. Cobra Mink Ranch, because right, Cobra has terrorist organizations have to have mink ranches. By Destro, Raptor joined the ranks of the Cobra legions and began work on developing a bird of prey strong enough to attack a GI Joe. Oh God, that's funny. Raptor doesn't have any delusions about what he is, even if he dresses up in that bird suit of his and spends most of his time in a giant bird cage. There are means to an end, and the bottom line for Raptor is his non-taxable profit margin. What the fuck? That is just bizarre. A yuppie tax consultant. Who thinks of that? Like, what? Why?
I have no idea. Adults, because
Right.
it
Yeah,
definitely wasn't
right.
children.
Wasn't kids and yuppie tax consultant. They don't even know what that is, but that's funny. I didn't see none of these guys before. This Ice Viper, Hardtop, Gyro Viper. I don't know what vehicles they drove.
Payload. I remember him.
Yeah. Oh, I had
I think
Worms. I had
I didn't have.
Worms. I had Zanzibar.
I had Zanzibar.
I had Sea Slug.
I didn't have none of these but Zanzibar. Zanzibar was the only one I had, and I think I traded somebody for him. Like that's
Yeah,
how I traded like one of my
he
other
had like
Jordans.
hair and shit coming out the top. He had like actual like doll hair, coming off the top of his head.
And she did.
Yeah, and Worms. I
I don't
forget what
remember when
Worms
like
was.
Worms and all of them. I don't remember all of them.
Yeah, I
I
had
don't remember
Worms. I
Worms.
forget what he was. He was the Cobra Maggot driver. Oh yeah, okay. He drove the Maggot, and he had a funny mask. His mask looked like the Rocketeer. See, there he is.
Mm,
His helmet looks like the Rocketeer
mm,
almost. And
it
that was
does.
he drove the Maggot, the Cobra Maggot, which oh, there's Slaughter's Renegades. His three
Yeah.
renegade buddies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Red Dog, Mercer, and I forget the other
Cobra
one.
La team.
That's the Royal
Had
Guard.
all the
Yeah,
Cobra La team.
Globulus,
Mhm.
Nemesis, Enforcer. Yeah.
Yeah, had all
Damn,
them.
bro. That bring back a lot of memories, bro.
Hell yeah. Now
Locker,
Battle Force
Avalanche.
2000, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I had that. I had Maverick. I had Knockdown. I don't think I had those other guys. Mail-ins was the fridge. I had the fridge. I got the fridge. Damn, I mailed in for the fridge. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Initially, I was
Remember the
yep,
fridge? Refrigerator
yep.
Perry had the big gap in
Initially,
his teeth and shit.
yep. He was their physical trainer.
Right. That's funny. Refrigerator Perry. Mail in. Had a weapon, had a football that he hit
The
people with.
football with a chain, yeah.
Chain on it.
It was a football with a chain on it. It was like a
Yeah.
mace. It was like a football mace.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Battle Force 2000 Dominator. Yeah, I had that. Forgot about Battle Force 2000. I had a bunch of these Battle Force 2000
Did you?
shits. Yeah.
Man,
Cobra
none of them.
Buzzbore. I had the buzz board. I didn't
I
have that.
remember the
There's the
buzz
maggot.
board.
Yep.
I remember the maggot.
That's the maggot. That's what Worms came in. That's the Worms was the driver of the maggot.
I just don't remember Worms, man.
There he is. See him real small. Look at that. Somebody got the whole maggot unassembled. Look at that with the decals. That is cool. And how much they want? $400. Woo!
Oh,
That's crazy.
well, somebody paid for it. Somebody gonna pay for it.
Oh fuck yeah, they will. That's a nice setup, man, to have all the pieces and shit like that.
Yeah, intact.
That's super official. Yeah. Why is my shit freezing up? All right. Oh, there it is. There it is. The Crossfire fast attack vehicle. That was remote control. That was a RC car. Sada, welcome. What's good?
That's dope. I don't remember that one. You know, I really just don't. Sada.
Oh man, this is it. Sada, what's good? We talk. So this was. There it is. There it is. You don't remember this?
I don't.
Wow,
they
got it.
I mean, listen.
100.
I don't, man.
Look at that. See? Look at the GI Joe remote control. Because I was like fiending for a RC car. Because I don't know if y'all did, but we always put our GI Joes in the RC cars, and we would try to find cars that you could put GI Joes in and shit. Like we really did that.
True.
And then they came out with this, and that was just everything, man. That was everything. That is so cool that they got that. Yeah, we taking y'all back, man. We taking y'all way back. Mobile Command Center, the Dreadnought Cycle. Remember the trike? Oh wow, I had that too. The Complex. I'm just terrible, man. I was so spoiled, dog. I had all this shit. I was.
Oh, you gave it away?
Pretty much. I probably grew up and we probably gave it away, or garage saled it for 50 cents or whatever, and then
look at that, $100.
Ain't that some shit?
Crazy.
And that's cool. That's Zanzibar and his little biscuit. What was it the skiff, pirate skiff, his air skiff? That's fucking
that
cool.
Was dope. That was dope.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was so. That is 1987. So I'm getting older at this point. But I'm still. This is sort of where I start to kind of grow out of GI Joe. I think. Let me see. Oh no, I was still way in. Yeah, Budo. Hell yeah, I was definitely still in. This is the samurai guy. That was crazy that they made a samurai dude. I love him. I can't wait till they make a classified version of Budo. And Hit and Run. Wouldn't it? And then Hydro Viper, Hit and Run, the Iron Grenadier, Hardball. I had all these dudes. The Iron Grenadier, I'm pretty sure they'll probably make, because they're probably going to make a Destro with the Grenadier. Because these guys, the Iron Grenadiers, those were Destro's soldiers. For his little crew, the Grenadiers or whatever. $15, not bad. Yeah, Destro's Elite Troopers. I remember. Yeah, Destro's Elite Troopers. Terrorism, sales, marketing, and development. Oh my. Bro, their specialties are terrorism,
Iron grenades,
sales, and marketing and development.
Lovely.
Hilarious. All right, let's see. Who else? Hit and Run, Muskrat, all these guys, Lightfoot. Oh, there he is, Road Pig. Road Pig was cool. This was, man. Let me tell y'all. This Storm Shadow was my favorite Storm Shadow. Ooh, they need to make a Shockwave for Classified.
I forgot about Shockwave. Oh.
Bro, they need to make Shockwave. Because imagine this figure. Imagine this character in a 7-inch figure. That's bad as fuck. Dude, imagine a 7-inch Shockwave. That would be peak.
Oh my God, $30.
That would be peak. He's got the mask, the ski mask, and the hat. That would be such a cool looking figure. Yeah, $30. That's not bad. Who else? Yeah, but this Storm Shadow, man, this is version 2 of Storm Shadow with the hood and the camo. I was just enamored, bro. That was my favorite character, my favorite figure, hands down. That was like it for me right there. Storm Shadow version 2. And then there's Destro version 2 with his gold head and the red cape. So he goes, see how he goes with the Grenadiers, the Iron Grenadiers? And
Yeah.
he drove a vehicle. He came in a vehicle in this one, and the Ferret did as well. This guy named Ferret, he was also one of his Grenadiers. See, they're all wearing the gold and red. And then I don't know who this dude Armadillo. I know who Armadillo is, but I forget what he drove.
He
There's
drove
Sergeant Slaughter.
I think he drove the bridge layer. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I could be wrong, but I think he drove
damn,
the
this
bridge
dude
layer.
named Skidmark.
Yeah, we had a skid.
Skidmark.
Yeah, we had a skid mark, you know.
Secto Viper and Nullifier. I don't remember these dudes. Windmill, I think I know him. Yeah, there's Star Viper. I knew him. Wild Card, I don't remember that dude. Oh, this Dusty. Oh, the Tiger Force Dusty. Tiger Force Flint would be cool. They did a Tiger Force bazooka already.
Tiger Force just, I don't
But
know.
it was
just
weird.
didn't do it for
Yeah.
me.
Nah,
Just didn't do it for me.
Me neither. I think Flint's the only one that I thought was really cool. Because he did look kind of cool. He had the, yeah, see? Because in the
Rolling
cartoon,
Thunder, the Rolling Thunder vehicle, that's what he drove.
Oh, Armadillo? Okay.
Yeah, he was the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
The Rolling Thunder driver.
Roadblock, Lifeline, Tripwire, Tiger Force drivers. They put out a Tiger Force for Kondo already. It's weird that the choices they've made for what figures to make. Some of these they've made some weird choices. I think
choices, yeah. When I think they should have just went from. I think they should have just started from the first series and put them out like 5 or 8 at a time.
Yeah, or just go
down the
through
list. Just go down the list.
Wave,
go down each one,
like we're doing now, and pick the best ones from each wave. I don't know why they didn't do. Because the first Storm Shadow they put out was I'm not even gonna go there because they did a whole.
It was just
when
plain.
They first started.
It was plain. He was white, and all he had was the Cobra
one.
He had the Cobra patch on.
Now I'm talking about when they put out the G.I. Joe Classified, the first classified Storm Shadow.
The classified,
yeah. He had
I didn't get that one.
Black and yellow, black and white with the. It was almost like a leopard spot. I don't know. It's weird. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. I waited for the classic one.
Oh, the fire bat. I never saw the bug. Yeah, that's that weird guy that I never saw before. And this Cobra bug, I never even saw this thing. Anybody ever seen this? Cobra bug? Never saw that. And they want $350 for it. I don't even know what that. Road Pig is in it. Road Pig and Big Boa are in that shit in the back. But yeah, that's a weird thing. I don't remember.
349, bro. That's insane.
Oh, there's Destro on his. Oh, the Iron Grenadiers. So they had the Demon, the AGP, the Anti-Gravity Pod, and Destro's Despoiler. And this was all around the time of that Force 2000 or whatever that they did. It was like they were going futuristic. And the Night Raider. So this Night Raider, that's just a black painted version of Sergeant Slaughter's little tank thing. A lot of these are repaints. So this is they started doing repaints. That whole thing with the Tiger Force, just repainting figures. There's the Tiger Cat, which is a repainted snow job, whatever the snow cat, and it's the Tiger Cat. Yeah, Swamp Master, I had that. There's the Tiger Rat, the Jet, I had that. Mail-in trucks and vehicles and shit. Warthog. Wow.
The Warthog, I remember.
I'm trying to get to guys. I'm trying to get to the wave where I stopped playing with GI Joes. I stopped buying them and shit. Let's see where because I'm still at this point. I'm still in. Here's 1989. I'm still in. I'm about 9 years old, 10 years old. Definitely still buying them. Not playing with them quite as much, but stuff. See, there's Alley Viper. I had, and they made an Alley Viper, which again, weird choice, but cool figure. Really cool looking figure at the time. Alley Viper. Most of these guys, was kind of dying out at this point. Naugahyde, I had him. All these guys. Yeah, this was the Snake Eyes version 3 with the metal, with the this is the one I think you said you never saw or something. You didn't know that that they made this guy. some shit.
Yeah, I never saw that Snake Eyes before. I
Yeah,
never knew they
yeah,
even made that one.
yeah. That's version
Yeah.
3. He came with a 3-piece staff. It was really cool. Here they're missing. It looks like they're missing a piece, but this little thing looks like nunchucks. It was a 3-piece sectional staff, which is a real martial arts weapon. It's cool. That was cool that they did that because it's like an obscure kind of weapon. I always thought that was cool. They did that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
I never knew they had a Snake
Darklon.
Eyes. Threw me for a
Right.
loop when I saw that.
I had this guy Darklon. I forget who he was. What was this guy about? Oh, he drove the vehicle. Okay. Yeah. He's a distant cousin of Destro, of the Destro clan, and a long line of privateers, mercenaries, and investment bankers. It's always something weird like that, isn't it? It's like they're tax preparers and investment bankers. It's always something.
Well, that was a
like
thing back in the 80s. If you were
yeah.
a tax preparer,
For real.
investment banker, yeah,
Yuppies and
chemistry
shit?
teacher, yeah,
Right.
chemistry teacher. Yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
thing started back in the 80s.
It was.
You know what I
It
mean?
was.
Yeah, that was telling you, Sada, that's the kind of man you would look for. You had to be a chemistry teacher, investment banker, political scientist.
Yeah, something to do with money, finance,
tax leaner, tax or a notary.
Money.
These are the more repaints, Slaughter's Marauders, where they repainted them.
Blue, where they got the blue shirts and all that, and then
Yeah, all 3 of those look like a repaint of one another.
They definitely are.
They look like repaints. That's the they look like repaints. Even when that's what I'm saying. That's when it's bad. That's when you know you're jumping the shark. And here's Python Patrol again. This is Cobra's version of the Tiger Force, where instead of putting tiger stripes, they put this diamond pattern. I guess that's supposed to be like a snake. Python Patrol, the Crimson Guard, which looked terrible. Looked like he's, I don't know, going to play for a mariachi band or something. These guys look terrible. There's Copperhead and the Python Officer. They did a couple of Python Officer, the Trooper, Viper, and the Televiper. These are the Night Force. So Night Force was a cool, really, really cool idea. I really liked Night Force and the whole thing.
I did like Night Force, yes.
But the figures just didn't do it for me. They didn't come out looking really cool, like you can see. But the cartoon and shit, the comics and all of that was it was like a cool squad. And then they made this Shockwave, which if Classified comes out with a Shockwave, I really hope they do, and I hope they do this gray and black version.
That would be dope.
Nice.
Dope. Yeah, that would be a cool.
107. Did that say 100?
I think it did.
Oh, really? Did it really?
I think it was in the 100s.
Let me
go.
No, I'm pretty sure.
That's
Yep,
$117.
Yep.
Damn.
Wow. I guess he was hard to get.
And it's used.
I would think so.
Guys, $275.
Oh my god.
$275 for the Black Night Force Shockwave. So the Night Force Shockwave, okay, highly sought after character. Probably a really hard to get figure. And yeah, look, there's his gun. It's $10 just for the gun. $50 for his backpack. Holy shit. $70 for the knife.
The knife must be a sought after item.
Well, think about it. This knife must be really hard to find because little kids are losing that. If you still have that knife, that's probably crazy. And for completists, because some of these collectors are completists. You know, they want every single little scrap of accessory and everything, and they'll pay for it.
For sure.
They will buy it. Here's just the top half of him for $80.
No.
That's funny.
Like, who does that benefit?
I know.
Yeah, because the other half, 120? It was 117. Yeah.
Where are you gonna
that's
get?
fairly priced.
Where are you gonna get?
But where are you gonna get the bottom?
But it's funny because like if you have these little bits and pieces of GI Joes and shit, put them on. Like here's like these Build-A-Figure pieces. So this is like a Build-A-Figure piece that came with the Marvel Legends. Like this is like Khonshu's arm. right? And you have to pay $30 to buy the figure to get this arm. And so a lot of people aren't, they'll go online and you could sell this little arm for probably $20. It's crazy. Because people might have the other pieces. Like people might have that Shockwave, just the legs, and they go on eBay and they see the top half and they'll buy that shit quick. Man.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. Nora said he started with G.I. Joe, then went to Transformers, then Ninja Turtles. Yeah, that's
fate.
But that's a lot of people's succession because that's kind of how they came out. Yeah,
came out. Yep,
that's how they came out. But me, I was very loyal to G.I. Joe. I stayed gung ho. G.I. Joe was always my thing. I maybe I had a Transformer. I might have had a He-Man or something like that or two, but G.I. Joe was 100% what I definitely was rocking with as a kid all the way through until I pretty much stopped messing with toys and shit. But yeah,
I did not go through that phase. I had like some Marvel figures. I think Wolverine X-23 specifically. And then my sister, she had a Sabretooth one because she loves Sabretooth. I think that was it. And then I played with Bratz dolls, but then I watched a bunch of superhero TV shows, so I would just make them fight, and then they started losing limbs. So then that was kind of my end of toys.
Yeah. Yep. That's I mean, the 80s were it was like toys were huge. Like all the cartoons on TV were all toy commercials. Like for real, every cartoon that you watch had a toy line. Every one. And a lot of them, if you can watch the documentaries, a lot of these toys were made. It was like the shows were made just to sell toys. Like they made
toys.
That's 100%. And nowadays, they'll make cartoons for the sake of making a cartoon. If it becomes really popular, maybe they'll make some toys about it. But back then, it was like they made the cartoon for the purpose of selling toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of these guys, must have been, I don't know. I just didn't, this wave I didn't fuck with. Undertow, none of these guys.
These names. I remember them, but I didn't. Yeah, I remember them, but I ain't buying none of them.
Airwave, altitude, airborne.
Yeah, I ain't buying none of them.
Bro. Drop zone, skydive, static line. So these must be divers. Okay, Sky Patrol. Vehicle drivers, Decimator, Major Storm, Cold Front. Dude, I've never. Okay, Overlord. I know of Overlord. What did he do? What did he drive? Okay, he drove the Dictator, which I don't really remember that vehicle.
Oh.
This must be when I stopped playing with them because I don't recognize none of these. Let me go to the next phase. Because
go back one.
Ooh. What?
Oh.
These guys?
To the vehicles. Go back to the vehicles.
Okay. All right.
It's right there. The Skyhawk. Oh, they made a chrome.
It's a repaint.
Version. Okay, yeah, they made a chrome. Yeah. Now the Skyhawk, I loved. That was one of my favorite vehicles. Love the Skyhawk, bro. Because you could put a figure. I never seen the chrome one either. You could put a figure on each one of the skis, so you could actually have like 3 figures riding on that joint.
Oh, nice.
Because the little skis had little pegs on them, and you could stick the feet on them. And
stick the feet on them. Yeah.
That
only G.I. Joe. And only G.I. Joe is daring enough to put men on skis and fly in a jet-propelled cockpit across the land.
Dude, these are all chrome.
I don't know.
This is a chromed out Sky Raven, a chromed out Sky Shark.
Wow, they must have had a chrome one.
We gotta get you.
Yeah,
you know what, man? We
gotta
get the residential. We gotta get the residential expert Jamaliquin on here, man. So we can figure this out.
Ooh!
Look at that.
Hold on, it's $6.
No, wait, no, it says accessories. No.
Yeah, these are just the parts.
That's how they get you.
I'll give her say, order me one of those. I'll give her say, order me one of them right away. Let me see.
Oh man, let me see what else. Let me see if we can get a full one. Okay, here's one for $100.
That price looks more appropriate. Ooh, look at that.
They were chrome. Yeah, the chrome's rubbing off. You can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Yeah, chrome toys. They did a lot of that. Star Wars had some chrome stuff I remember, but it always rubbed off. The chrome always rubbed off, and then there was like a dull yellow, clearish yellow plastic in it.
Ew.
Yep. Underneath. Yep.
But yeah, this I'm not familiar with any of these wave. And then this is the wave 10.
What happened to Wave 9?
That was what we just looked. That was
Oh,
wave 9 we
okay.
were just looking at.
Gotcha.
And they disappear it when you look at it. But here's wave 10. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's Big Ben. Okay, so they Classified made a Big Ben, and I'm like, who is Big Ben? Like,
You don't remember Big?
who are
I
these-
remember Big
who are
Ben.
these characters? You remember Big Ben?
Yeah, I remember Big Ben.
Reno, you gotta
bro.
catch back up.
That's 1991.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, Desert Scorpion. I had him. He's a really cool looking figure. I would love to see a classified version of this guy. He's a weird dude, but he's a really cool looking character. He's got a big ass scorpion.
Look at that.
And look, he's got like Dusty had the cloth thing hanging from his helmet or whatever. And I don't know, he's sleeveless there. He's got he's got tubes and pipes and shit coming off his face. He reminds me of someone like here we go. There he is.
Damn.
In the package.
I was
package.
done. I was done collecting. I was done. I didn't collect it at this point.
Yeah, I was out at this point.
Yeah, I was out. I was
I
out of the game. I was out of the game at that point.
Yeah, all this
Heavy
stuff.
duty.
is
I
way
remember heavy
past
duty. I remember
Heavy duty.
I remember heavy duty.
Yeah, there's low light version 3.
Yeah,
Vaguely remember. And then this is that
Snake Eyes
stupid
version
Snake Eyes.
4.
Yeah, horrible version of Snake Eyes. I hated that they did this. Yeah, I remember being in the grocery store or Kmart or one of those stores, because back we had Kmart was like our Walmart back in the 80s. And this was like 90. I guess this would be 91. I remember seeing this in the store, and this was after I was done playing with G.I. Joes. But I saw this and I thought, man, these kids, they don't know. Like this is whack.
He got robbed on that
He's
one.
got fluorescent robbed.
Damn.
Fluorescent orange, bright shit, like blue. That's y'all Snake Eyes.
Yeah,
I
they
was
got
like,
robbed
man,
on that one.
sad. But yeah, this whole whatever. I don't. Yeah, this guy's named
Nah, I
Cesspool.
don't really care.
Look at this guy named Cesspool. I like that. He's funny. Look at his head. Hold on. Let me zoom in on this guy. His name is Cesspool. Look at this dude. Half his eye. That's crazy. He's got a big scar down his face. Can y'all see that? The big
Yes.
close up.
They tried on the
Yeah.
figure. I'll give them credit.
Yeah. Yeah, they tried. Look at that. That's not quite, is it? Eco Warriors. So this is probably some gimmick where they probably, yep, look at that. So this little thing looks like it fills up with water, and you can plug that hose into it, and he squirts it, and it squirts or whatever. And then you see that little squirt graphic there on the bottom card. This is Eco Warriors. Yeah, this is all that gimmicky shit they did that was way after my time.
Yeah, they was gimmicky on that one.
Yeah, these are ugly, dude. Look at these figures. These suck. Look at
Wow,
this big
these look
head,
like
dude. Look at
what
this
is
guy
his
looks
name?
like my plumber.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. He looks
Oh,
like my
no.
fucking.
Oh no.
These
Oh,
like
look
the
at this.
figures you buy at the dollar store.
Look at this guy. Looks like my plumber, Bernie. What is this?
Yeah. These look like the dollar store figures. This was G.I.
Right.
Joe was in the dollar store. That's
Yeah.
what it had to be.
Yeah. Yeah. This is terrible. These suck. G.I. Joe was in a fucking bad place.
Oof.
Dial tone. Oh, look at that tunnel rat. That's my guy right there.
Tunnel Rat. What a name.
I know, right? But tunnel rats were a real thing in Vietnam. They that was an actual job where
Oh, wow.
they would be holes in the ground that were just big enough for a human to squeeze through, and there would be dirt tunnels, and they would send them in there, and they'd have to shimmy through this dirt tunnel that would go way underground, and they would have the Viet Cong would have these big dugout rooms underground that they dug out that had these underground tunnels, and there was these huge what do you call them, networks of tunnels underground in the jungle in Vietnam, and the Viet Cong would go down there, and they had their whole thing.
That's how they moved.
And the tunnel rats were sending the
troops.
tunnel rats down there, right? And they would pop up out of nowhere and take our guys out and disappear, and we'd be like, where the fuck are they? They were underground. And the tunnel rat guy, his job was to take a flashlight and dive in that fucking hole, and take a knife and a flashlight and go in there looking for Viet Cong. It was the most dangerous job in the war.
Actually, it would take like a 4 or 5. He'd take like a 4 or 5 in the flashlight.
Yeah. Well, so
you always carry a knife.
Forrest Gump did that. Forrest Gump was a tunnel rat.
4 or 5 in it. Yeah, you have a 4 or 5 in it now.
Yeah.
Anybody could be the tunnel. Well, anybody could be the tunnel rat, but they would just, you had to know what you was doing, because you could run into a whole regiment. You could, you come out the tunnel and you run into a whole regiment of Viet Cong troops
down there. Yeah,
that's
be under there.
Yeah, that's how they moved. That's how they moved around. That's how they got around. That's how they hid their numbers and things like that. It was ingenious how they did it.
Yeah.
But they pulled it off.
They did. They pulled it off. They whooped our ass. Bottom line.
They
did.
No, they did. Yeah, they did. They beat everybody.
They showed us what was what. Yeah, they showed us.
But we had never fought.
We never fought in the jungle.
We never fought in the jungle. We never did jungle warfare before, ever, in the history of the country.
Yeah. So yeah, they had it all over us. It was it was a losing battle from the beginning. But I was reading this article. You guys see this dude? Melly Mel is a fool. Melly Mel is a damn fool, bro. Let me show y'all this. Look at Melly Mel, bro. A nigga's jungle some time. Make you wonder.
He's still in good shape, bro. He's still in good shape. He's like 70 or something like that.
I mean, he a lot of for y'all young guys, he's a cornerstone of hip hop, and definitely one of the first to fit what we now would call the GOAT status rapper. But way back, and he recently was talking shit about these young guys, like not even these young guys, like to us they're old heads or whatever. But he said they asked him, what did you think about Eminem? Because there was this list, right? So they were interviewing him about a top 50 rappers list or whatever, and the list is absurd. The list is ridiculous, bro. It's the worst shit I've ever heard. But he said they asked him what he thought about Eminem, who landed at number 5 on the list, and he said Eminem gets a top spot because he's white. He said, and adding that Eminem's style was gimmicky. He said, and they said, how about Nicki Minaj, who was placed at number 10, beating out Rakim at number 13? I'll repeat that. Nicki Minaj was placed above Rakim, 3 spots, in fact. And he said, that's some bullshit. He said, that's blasphemy. And then Kendrick Lamar landed at number 2. And they said, I don't think you hear Kendrick Lamar in the club like that. He said, and as for Lil Wayne, show you how to touch you. What he said, you don't even know his real voice. He said, was something wrong with his voice? They had to put auto-tune on his voice. He thinks Lil Wayne is only auto-tune. Man, but
he's the king of auto-tune. I'll give him that. He is the king.
No, I said that's T-Pain.
T-Pain is the king of auto-tune.
No, T-Pain is the king. If he the king, you're right. If he's the king, then Lil Wayne is damn sure the prince. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, I will say that.
Yeah, because he damn sure. But in his defense, and I'm keeping it a buck. That was Wayne's style. That when he did that was his style. That's how he got down.
Oh yeah,
that's what made him popular. Cool that was cool the way he did it.
Of it. Yeah.
Right. So he can do it. He can actually get away with it, and we accept it from him. We accept it from T-Pain. But anybody else doing it? Come on, man. You just strip it right out. When he was the man with that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And for a long time, hip hop fans, I think is pretty par for the course from a founder of the genre. Melly Mel has You know, he's dogged younger rappers for decades. I mean, he was even talking shit from Run DMC to Public Enemy. He used
Yeah,
to
he
talk shit
was.
about
Yeah,
them back in the day. And
yeah,
it was
he
only
did. Yeah,
last year when Melly Mel told Vlad TV that he could beat Eminem in a battle. He say he could waste Eminem in a rap battle. He said
Oh, okay.
while Method Man revealed his own negative experience, he said that Method Man on Math Hoffa said some of these
yeah, I
people
seen
that
that.
you're talking about fucking love you, man. Don't do that. You know, he's talking like some of these people that Melly Mel is dissing are big fans of yours. You know what I'm saying? They look up to you. And Melly Mel is out here talking shit like he's a young rapper still in the game trying to keep his top spot and shit. And it's like the way I see it, it's like, bro, you a OG, man. Just fall back and be a OG. Let the people come to you and shit. But you know, he's still hungry. Which is
He's from a
cool.
different. He's from a different era of rap. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. You got eras of rap. Like all right, you got the Melly Mel era where they rapped a certain way. You know, they was more like hip hop, and they, you know,
Yeah.
like don't push me and all. That was a certain way they rap. And
Yeah.
then you had Run DMC. Run DMC came out, and they kind of like did like a variation of that style, but it was just more gutter. And then
Mhm.
you had KRS-One. When KRS-One dropped, he was the first rapper I ever heard that was complex. Like he had that complex style of rap
Mhm.
that you was like,
Right.
what did this Joker just say? Like, how did he even put that together? And then
Yeah.
you had the Rakims and all that. Then you got that
Rakim.
90s rap where these jokers
Cool G Rap.
just took it to right. They were like master MCs. Like they
Mhm.
really mastered the craft at a young age. Like
Nas.
Nas, P, Havoc, all of them. They, you know,
Mhm.
they mastered that joint like in their early 20s. Whereas in
Mhm.
Chris and Run DMC and them were mastered in their mid to late 20s. You
Right.
know, then rap took like a dive where it was dying out because the music industry wanted everybody to sound like NWA. They wanted everybody to be like West Coast, and it was dying. And New York rappers couldn't survive because they couldn't make West Coast music like
Mhm.
West Coast rappers couldn't make East Coast music. And then Wu Tang dropped. Wu Tang was a whole movement that saved hip hop from dying. It was literally about dead and
Mhm.
breathed life into it, and it sprung up. And you had that whole era. Then you got the Drake era, the Lil Wayne era, and then the South exploded. And then you had the Midwest. They came up. So the Midwest and the South was at the same time. Then trap music hit. Bang. Once trap music hit, it's the industry. It's like your dad said, Sada, when he was listening to your uncle's music, that he had listened to so much of it that that's all he had an ear for. So like now, people listen to so much trap that that's all everybody in America has an ear for. It's just trap music. When you play that and you play that certain beat and that certain tempo, everybody start bobbing their head. But if you play
Mhm.
anything else, everybody be like, it's all right, but it sounds kind of old school because they don't have an ear for any other music other than trap because the industry's made it that way from R&B singers to rappers to neo soul. It's just all one genre, and they're making money off of it. And you got to
I
remember,
think
the music industry will kill you for your catalog. They want to make money. That's all they care about. That's all they want. They don't care about nothing else. Michael Jackson owned 50% of Sony Music when he died, and they killed him for his catalog. That is a fact. Everybody knows that. We can't prove it, but we know it's the truth. So
yeah. So I think
Whitney
Melly
Houston,
Mel, I think he went viral saying this because of the hip hop 50 celebration that was going on, the Grammys and all of that. And
maybe he
it
wasn't
could
getting
be
enough
due to
attention. Yeah, maybe he wasn't
Billboard's
getting enough
list.
attention.
Yeah, Billboard just did a list, the top 50 MCs, and that's kind of what he's talking about this list. And you know, more positively, you know, Melly Mel's music is more present in the zeitgeist this year than it has been in decades. Just because of these hip hop milestones and stuff that are happening at this moment. And Coy Leray sampled a beat from the Message, which is the canonical 1982 hit as a member of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. and for her top 20 hit players. And then he, Flash, Scorpio, Raheem, and Barshawn performed snippets of Super Rapping and The Message at the Grammys this year during the Big 50 Hip
Yeah, I
Hop 50th
remember that.
anniversary.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, TV ads for the Cocaine Bear movie used snippets of Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel's White Lines.
White Lines.
Yeah, and then particularly Melly Mel's hook, you know, higher baby until you never come down, and it was White Lines, and then
Vision trees
White
for
Lines, yeah, and then
Pusha
Pusha T remix White Lines for Cocaine Bear as well. So there's a lot of shit with Melly Mel, and you know, in the Art of Dialogue videos, Mel compared himself to George Washington. And he's not far off, you know. Yes, Spoonie G, Grandmaster Caz, Kool Moe Dee, Busy B, Curtis Blow, and a handful of other, you know, hip hop icons, you know, were considered top rappers at the dawn of that studio era, that early 80s, you know, even that, you know, that Big Bank Hank of the Sugar Hill Gang, who notoriously stole Grandmaster Caz's lyrics to Rapper's Delight, earned some praise for his boisterous, bombastic, you know, style and voice. Like those guys were the shit. Like they were the top. They were rap's elite at the time.
Yeah, they
and
were.
You know, and having said that, Mel arguably is the first to fit the description of what we now call a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like someone that everyone around the world knows and accepts as best in his field. You know, those other artists at that time just didn't have the same impact at the time that he did, you know, whether because their influence was confined to the East Coast, you know, fleeting black radio airplay, or
it was new.
Like, yeah, it was new. And like the case of Curtis Blow, it was still, it was like, is it disco? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, so it was still a little bit disco at the time. And
it was a movement. It was a movement for our generation because we didn't have anything. We didn't, like, you got to think, when our parents came up, all we heard was their music. Like we heard Al Green, we heard Luther Vandross, we heard you know, Teddy Pendergrass, James Brown. That's all we heard. And then when rap came out, we was like, wait a minute, yeah, Led Zeppelin. We you know, if it wasn't hippie rock, flower rock, R&B, you know, that we didn't have anything. And then when rap came out, our parents hated it. They was like, yo, what is this music? Oh, it's just nothing but noise. They hated it.
That's not music.
They hated it. It's not music. What would you? They're using other people's beats. They're using other people. Yeah, they're using it because that's all. Yeah, and it's dope the way they do it. It was creative, and they gave us no props. They said it would be dead in a year. Yeah, this music will be dead in 10 years.
It's just a fad. It's not really music. And to their defense, I get now as an adult listening to this mumble rap shit that I don't get, but they completely get it. And so I get, like, you know, in their defense, I get rap was weird, you know, it was, you know what I'm saying? They're just talking, kind of rhyming over a beat that's very monotonous.
And the beats were all about sounds. Yeah, it was about sounds. Like, yeah, like you would take sounds that you heard, like you had jokers walking around with voice recorders, recording different sounds, and they would come back and mix them up on the turntable just to make beats. Like they would make somebody could make a beat off of a train running over train tracks and make a beat, and somebody would rap to it, and it was funky. Yeah. Like, yo, how do you just bring it back? And it's just a rhythm that they did that made it what it was. And then they started adding bands and percussions, and they expanded the
message.
Music.
When he did the message, you know, don't push me because I'm close to the edge, you know, and as he frequently will tell you in interviews, his legacy, you know, stands on the message. It was 1982 hit single, and he says it's the first conscious rap record, which is a debatable claim. But his closing verse, which famously begins,
that's true.
A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind, is a slowed down version of the lyrics from his last verse on Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5's 1979 single Super Rappin'. He basically just redid Super Rappin', And then other songs dropped before The Message can also be described as conscious, notably Brother D with Collective Efforts, How We Gonna Make It, How We Gonna Make the Black Nation Rise. Curtis Blow had Hard Times, and even party songs like
Don't
Simon
forget Beat
Says.
Street. Don't forget Beat
Beat
Street.
Street.
Beat Street was very conscious. Yeah.
Right.
And don't be a slave
and
to no computer. Yo,
yeah,
that
and
was real.
It was. But the message had an impact though, you know, that supersedes all those songs, like as far as global recognition, you know, all those other rappers and all that shit. So I get why Melly Mel feels like he's not getting the respect and the due that he really deserves as a pioneer. And he's not
we
wrong
respect
because
him. Nah, he's not. You know,
he
we
created
respect
this
him.
shit. You know,
we
gave
just
us-
don't respect him. Yeah, he don't get the props publicly.
Yeah.
or as much as Run DMC does. Like when
Right.
you talk about hip hop,
Oh,
everybody bring up Run DMC. They all bring up
Yeah.
LL, but
Yeah.
but you got to be a real hip hop head to dig deep
talk
and say
about
Melly
Melly Mel.
Mel's name,
Yeah.
right? And that's the difference.
That's
And
the
I think-
problem. That's what he
Right?
don't
I
like.
think yeah.
That's what he
I
don't
mean,
like.
well, he got to get out there, man. He got to.
And he do.
His, you know,
He do. Because he's
it's
always
kind of his fault because he's
kinda
always been more
reclusive.
laid back.
Yeah.
Right. And he just, like you go on YouTube, he got workout videos on there, but he ain't promoting his rap.
Does
He
he
ain't
really?
promoting his
Right.
Yeah, word is bond. No lie. Go on YouTube,
I
type
believe
in Melly.
it.
He got workout videos, yeah, where he doing like 100 dips and like
Right.
50 pull-ups in a clip, things like
Yeah.
that, bro. I mean, you in shape, bro. We get it. Like we get it,
Right.
bro. You still look good. Like, you know what I mean?
Nah. Yeah, man.
But at the same time, if he wants that recognition, he's got to get out there and
Yeah.
push it. Maybe come out with a remastered version of The Message 2023, where they
Mhm.
recorded joint in FLAC or something like. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he
don't know
could
what
do
to
it.
tell.
He could do a track with Pusha T. You know, he could have done. He could
Yeah.
have did White Lines with Pusha T. I mean, he should do songs with other rappers. But he's his ego, man. He won't do a song with another rapper because he's like, I'm better.
It sounds like he be dissing all the rappers.
He does.
So-
He disses
He
all the
does.
rappers.
He
And that's
does,
the problem.
son.
Like
He does.
that's a problem, bro. You can't act like that, man. You know, if you want to be
Yeah.
respected as the Godfather and as the GOAT, then you need to play a role as a Godfather. The Godfather didn't act like that, bro.
Nah.
You know,
He
you
also
gotta be.
he also would diss Run DMC because he felt like
Oh.
all right, when they got on stage, they wore these elaborate costumes. They was funky
Right.
as hell. But
Yeah,
that's just
spikes
what they
and
wore.
Glitter. and
Yeah,
all
they
kind
had
of
spikes and good. But at that point in the 80s, that's what we all wore. But we
shit.
all
Yeah,
wore it because
disco,
they
rock and
wore it.
roll,
Right.
everybody
We
wore
had
it.
spike belts. Yeah, we had spike wristbands and all that. Like we would walk around with leather pants. Yeah, we had just like
Just
yeah,
like that.
we was doing all that. Yeah. But when Run DMC came out, they was from Queens. They didn't have all that. They didn't have money for that. Them jokers
just
came
wore
out with
tracksuit,
jeans and
Leather
t-shirts
jacket.
and sneakers with no laces in it. That's how they got down. And so they thought that it
They
was being
dressed like cats
disrespectful.
on the street.
Right.
Yeah,
They thought
Melly
it was being
mad. He felt
disrespectful.
like they
It was like,
wasn't
oh, these
taking it
jokers
serious.
disrespecting our art. Yeah, no, they took
Yeah.
it serious. That's just how they got down. And then everybody started dressing jeans, t-shirts, sneakers. That was the hip hop attire after that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we got down because we couldn't walk around with spike
'Cause you
belts
can't-
anymore.
Yeah, you couldn't go everywhere just like a rock star, you know. But
No.
that was in big develop. That was a big development in hip hop, you know. That Run DMC doing that, and you know, Melly Mel gotta give them that, you know. He got to give them.
He
that.
does. He does have to give him that. Yeah.
He
Because
does.
remember, Run DMC wore the fedoras. They had the fedora
Mhm.
hats, and they wore all black, and they had the leather jackets. I mean,
Yeah.
they had a whole style, man. That was all their own, man.
mean,
That you
The
couldn't
Dookie ropes
just-
and
the do. Yeah,
Gazelle
they bought those
glasses.
out.
bro.
Yes, DMC
Cats
wore the
wearing
gazelles.
glasses.
Yeah, it was hard, man.
And-
That was the hardest thing we had ever seen.
Yeah. But you know,
'Cause-
it's easy to you know quibble with some of Mel's old man cranky comments. But and like he did sort of somewhat like diss Jay-Z, like saying like if you can pull one of the top chicks in the game, that'll do a lot for your status. Like Jay-Z's only famous because he got with Beyonce. It's
That
like
might be
B.
true. I mean, I might be.
Come on.
I might agree with that.
Come
I
on.
might agree with that. I might agree
How
with
about
that.
he
I might
got
agree with that.
Beyonce because he was
I
Jay-Z?
might agree with that. Well,
I think
listen.
that's
Let's break it down.
They was
relevant.
already big
I
before
think
Beyonce.
Well, let's break it down.
I will
How
say-
old is Beyonce now?
think-
How old is Beyonce now,
Oh, how
Sada?
old-
Because then you
Beyonce
think about how
age.
old was
She's
she?
41.
Because I know she wasn't of age. She wasn't of age when Jay-Z got with her. I can tell you that now. She was young
Jay-Z was
when Jay-Z
famous
got with her.
before she was before their
Yeah,
couple,
bro. She was
whatever.
because people talk about that, bro. People talk about how old she was when he got with her. A lot of people talk about that, man. It's a lot of behind the scenes with him and Beyonce.
Oh yeah,
A whole lot of behind the scenes. Yeah, Jay-Z up there, and she got to be like she like in her early 40s or something like that.
Yeah, she's like 41.
Jay's old.
Yeah. And when Jay got with her, he was damn. If he wasn't 30, he was about 35 when he got with her. And she was like what, 17?
Oh,
Night she announced they was together when she was like 19 or something like that. Well, and then according to her and other people, they was messing around at least a couple years before that, which would put her like 15, 16.
Oh, please.
But we know
that doesn't mean that he's famous because he got with her.
No. But I think that relationship is holding his relevancy. I do think that.
Listen, man, I believe Cameron when Cameron said it best. He said Jay-Z don't want nobody. Like when they was at Rockefeller Records, he said Jay-Z didn't like them, not because they were anything personal, but because they was hot at the time. He didn't want anybody hotter than him out, period, point blank in the discussion.
Probably, yeah.
And it's true. They had to leave Rockefeller because of that. He kept holding back their albums. He kept, pushing back things. And Dipset was hot. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Coming out of Harlem, so to ask your dad, Harlem is like the mecca of is like the mecca of like dressing and just style. Jokers went to Harlem just to see what styles they could rock, because Harlem got their own. They got their own style. They got their own everything. And when they came out of Harlem, they was the hottest thing out, bro, in the whole world. They was the hottest MCs in the whole world. They had to put their albums out as mixtapes because Jay-Z wouldn't put them out in the store. He just wouldn't. Oh no, they ain't ready. We was ready for Dipset. We was more than ready for Dipset. They just went. They had to jump through hoops to give it to us, man. Hurt their career.
Yeah, I don't know how old Melly Mel is, but he said I may not be fully aware of the likes of Kendrick Lamar. He said I'm 90 years old, so I'm sure he was joking. He's not 90, but yeah, he's 61.
He's 61,
as an elder, I think he should be more generous and patient towards the children of his thing. This is hip hop. He should, whether they recognize him or not, they might not know who you are, dog. And honestly, if I seen him on the street, I might not recognize him either. So because he's just like you said before, he doesn't have his face out there. He's not really out there like that. So
except for the workout
videos. Go check the workout videos, bro.
Sometimes our elders give us what we need instead of what we want. So maybe that's the case. But he said if I'm on the panel picking the top 50 rappers, he said as a judge, he said my criteria is you have to be an overall 360-degree MC. He said you had to do the records, you had to do it on stage, you had to have it in the studio poise, you had to have the lyrical content, all of that, a whole thing. And ultimately, this debate isn't about whether Mel is ranked too low on the chart, but it's about honoring a generation of pioneers that never really received their proper due for creating the most popular genre of music of the 21st century. Let's keep it a buck. Whether that's financially or in terms of critical attention. He's 48. He's number 48. Yeah, he's number 48 on the list of 50.
See, I take those lists with a grain of salt because that's somebody's opinion, and I'm not gonna diss nobody's opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but don't present your opinion to me like it's law.
Like it's facts.
Yeah, right. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Right? Yeah. Like if that's where you place them on your list, fine, so be it. You're allowed to do that. But don't present it to us like like that's written in stone. That's etched. That's what we got to go by. Like that's the
Yeah,
Webster
like
dictionary. No, they
like
ain't. That ain't
we
how it
we
went.
we figured it out. The council is chosen. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
decided. You
It's,
know,
it's
no.
it's like Darth Sidious has spoken. Yes,
Yeah,
we will. This list of rappers is the
I
rappers
have
that we must
spoken.
have. Melly Mel will be bequeathed at number 49. Anyone
Yeah,
not liking it
I
will
have
be subject
spoken.
to. Yes, I have spoken. Anyone who disagrees will be tortured and blasted into
Oh,
space.
I have spoken.
Yeah, you can't do that, man. It's their opinion. I respect everybody's opinion, but at the
Yeah,
same time, don't enforce your opinion on me like it's like like Reno's top five would be different from mine. Silas would be different from both of ours. Everybody's in the chats would be different. That's just what people like. Let people like what they like, man. I mean, what happened to free will and
mhm.
choose your own? Like I ain't gotta like what
no
everybody
more.
like. Right?
Honor
Speaking of
my
Yeah.
choosing,
opinion, or it's no more. It's null and void.
Yeah. When we start this? When did this start? Like,
Treat
I
my
what
know.
opinion
happened?
as fact, or that's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, no, it's not fact. It ain't etched in stone. It's your opinion. You like what you like.
their
Like
opinion.
De La
And
Soul is De La Soul is a perfect example of a modern day Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five because they were like nerds that rapped, but they could rap and they had like a cult following. You wouldn't think so if you were to say De La Soul, you wouldn't think so. But then when you go to one of their concerts, it'd be jam packed, wall to wall. People love
mhm.
De La Soul, man. They love their music. And they were very,
Yeah,
very, very creative. They were very outside the box. Any
mhm.
any album you listen to by De La Soul is not a traditional rap album. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's full of songs, it's full of skits, it's full of jokes, but it's good music. You can sit there and listen to the whole thing like back to back, like every
You
song.
feel
You
like
can
the Furious Five was like that?
Yeah, I think that they just had a cult following that people just didn't understand, and it was just over too soon because
Mhm.
rap. You gotta remember something about rap music. Rap music evolves so fast, and rap we always looking for the hottest, newest thing. Like yo, all right,
Yeah,
I heard that, but that was last year. That was last year, and then we like, yo,
yeah,
what's new? Like what can we
yeah.
get that's new? We're the only genre that does that. You talk
Right.
about rock and roll, R&B. They don't do that. They respect the older stuff. They love it. They
Because it's a
play it. They jam
competitive
to it.
genre.
It is.
It's a
It
competitive
is.
sport. Battle rapping was a competitive thing,
Competitive
it was
sport.
all
You're right,
about
Reno. It is.
competition, and that's
Right.
why. And so it doesn't it almost like it has different rules than every other genre too in that way. But speaking of like people's opinions and shit like that, you remember we were talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie the other day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The that Seth Rogen is doing. He was like mad hurt because these the critics and like we were talking about lists, these people making these lists and shit. It's the same thing with these critics, doing, talking about these films and shit. It's really well, the way he put it was if he said if the writers, if the critics knew how they hurt the people that were making these films with the shit that they say, they might second guess the way that they write it, the way that they say it. And it's kind of goes back to that thing like this is your opinion about a film. You can't say that this is trash or this man is trash or it's just your opinion of the movie. You might not
Yeah,
like
but
it, but you can't
can't
say
your
that.
opinion be that it's trash?
Yes, but again, just like the list doesn't mean it's a fact. That's your opinion. Doesn't mean
Right.
don't bring it to me like it's law. But you know what I mean? Like it's not a
Right.
fact that movie is bad just because you didn't like it. And that's kind of the
Right.
same thing with the list thing. It's like just because you put them on that list in that position doesn't mean that's really where they sit, And but not to defend the TMNT movie or anything like that, because honestly, I haven't seen it or anything. It's not even out yet, but man, that it looks weird. It could definitely, I mean, and there's a lot of controversy over April O'Neil being black in this, which I will say, I don't think people know that April O'Neil was originally a mixed race character. She was
Yeah, that's
actually
what I
half
learned.
black.
She
And then,
was.
but
Yep.
they made her white for like
They
what?
made it
Made her
white.
white.
Yeah.
They just made her white, and it just stuck for some reason,
Mhm.
even though she wasn't originally supposed to be like that.
No, and because the franchise, it started back in 1984. It was like a black and white comic book, and they just made this fun story, and the character April O'Neil was based on Kevin Eastman's girlfriend at the time, named April, who was mixed race. And I think I have a picture too. Yeah, I do. Okay, so you can blatantly see in the art of the original comic that she was mixed race. I mean, her hair is super curly, and she's got the features. Hold on, man. Let me get the picture. Yeah, let me pull it up for y'all. Because it's like I can't really describe it, but when you see it, you'll know. But it was black and white, and so they didn't. But so that's the original April O'Neil.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and she's definitely mixed, definitely black there, but them making her, or in the Turtles movie, she doesn't look anything like that.
Yeah, no, I think she's a little heavy set, right? And then she has locks or something to that effect.
She has locks. Yeah, she has locks. And yeah, she's like, it's weird because she's not a big lady. She's not like a big heavy set lady, but she's really short. But they make her, she's very round. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And let me see. But she doesn't. But even if there she is. Even if, but that's not really a good picture of her body. But but even if, that's still quite. She's not. I mean, clearly she's not fat here. She's not chubby. She's, an athletic build. She's a reporter. She's dealing with ninjas. They're running around. She's fighting with Casey Jones and all of this. So it's just, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people are like, that's bullshit. Clearly you're looking for kudos. You're looking for points. You're trying to get brownie points by making this character the way you did. Blah, blah, blah. That's what they. So
I think it might be performative. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a tiny bit of an argument. Because that's how I feel about the new Ariel, and I hate to even say that because we got the trailer, and okay, we have a black Ariel, but King Triton, her dad's not black. He's white as can be.
Wow.
So I'm just trying to figure out, is she the only person of color in the whole film? Why?
Right.
If you're gonna commit, then commit to the bit. So otherwise, definitely.
And then it's performative. Then and that's the thing.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the issue that personally I have. I know Stu, and that's just kind of like when diversity and equality and these words and these things these ideals are used cheaply as like a way to sell something. It's disrespectful. Like it's borderline disrespectful, and it's hard to watch, man. I don't want that shit
because that's somebody's art. Like, it's like if somebody painted a picture, you're not gonna like every picture everybody paint, but somebody else might like it. You're not gonna like everything. Like Highlander, perfect example. We love the first Highlander movie, and the second one came out, and it was horrible. And I don't even know how we got a third one, but it was one of the most horrible movies ever made. But they didn't trash it. It was like, oh, and then even when we have like Oscars and movie awards, like everybody thinks that Denzel should have won an Oscar for Malcolm X, but he won an Oscar for Training Day, which eludes everybody. Nobody can figure out how he put up a better performance in Malcolm X than he ever did in Training Day, and got an award for it. Like they're like,
because he played a friggin' like stereotype.
Bad guy. Yeah.
It's the same reason Halle Berry didn't win an Oscar until she was butt naked in Monsters Ball. So it's like,
I wouldn't have accepted the
Billy
award.
Ray or Billy Bob.
Right, there was no way I could have accepted the award. I'd have been like, I played better roles. I'd have had somebody just take it on my behalf. Just go ahead and get on.
It's like the Jada Kiss line said, "Why did Denzel have to be crooked before he took it?" That's what he's talking about. Why did he
Yeah.
have to play a bad guy before he took the Oscar? Like, clearly he's Glory. I mean, come on, bro. This man has been doing shit since back in the day, all Oscar worthy. And you finally give it to him when because Denzel never played that. He never played a gangster. He never played a bad guy. He never played a thug or none of that.
Yeah, because then what's her name? Laputa. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but she won an Oscar when she played a slave. So it's just kind of like the optics, buddy.
Yeah, exactly, man. But with the April O'Neil thing, I mean, back then it was impossible to discern the ethnicity of the woman due to the lack of the colors on the page. It was very black and white, the whole comic, but the curly black hair and the white skin definitely hinted at her being mixed race. And when the cover of issue 11 was released that I showed you there, that theory was definitely confirmed, because she's clearly mixed right there. And then later Eastman revealed that O'Neill's character was based on April Fisher, his then girlfriend, later ex-wife, who was a mixed race woman. And then if the first shouts of whitewashing arose when issues 1 through 11 were reprinted in color. Ooh. And O'Neill was depicted as a white woman with red hair. They made the curly hair red and painted her white. Same character. It's like the same, it was the same black and white comic. When they colored her, And so fast forward to 1986, Eastman and Laird signed deals with Murakami Wolf Swenson Productions and Playmates Toys, and that would later make their 2D characters into 3D, and the former would make the cartoon, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we all grew up on and shit. And in 1987, that show debuted, and April O'Neil was depicted as a Caucasian redheaded woman. The version didn't change for 32 years until now. She's visibly black in the upcoming movie Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Here's a picture of her so you guys can see full body. And I'm not at all worried about the race swap of it. That's not what I think looks bad. I just think the whole her being fat and short, and it's like, that's just obvious. I don't know, man. To me, it's too obvious. But anyway,
you think that's like performative, like just how?
Because like, what other reason could there be? Like, what? Who are you trying to? So, and then there. I mean, even whether she's black, whether she's white, she's clearly athletic. And then now this, like, where are we? How is that? How did we go from here to here? Even here to here. So I can see people, they're whatever, their disgruntledness. I guess if you're like a super big fan of I don't
know. It's just like, I don't even like, what is the big deal? Like, they'll literally be okay. Like, just go watch April and literally anything else. Like,
right.
Fine. Okay. She's a little bigger. Whatever. Oh, well, Slade has a good point though. You know what, Slade? I didn't even think about that. Honestly, okay. Oof. Yeah.
What did he say?
I think it's a stereotype of a black woman's body.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let me see that picture. Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's a good point.
Like wide around the hips and
Yep.
That's
short.
That's a good point, Slade. Yeah, good eye.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I wouldn't be upset that she's black or whatever. I'd be upset that he did that for performative reasons, to put it in your words. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the other, and it's funny because it's Eastman and Laird, right? Kevin Eastman and whoever, I forgot his first name, Laird. They're the guys that made it. And when you ask him, they did an autobiography, and Eastman explained that rather than being a case of malicious whitewashing of them doing that with the comic, he said it was mostly a case of miscommunication.
Okay.
The co-creator explained that Laird had created April O'Neil to be white, and while he had based her on his ex-girlfriend. Laird also talked about the issue and explained that for him, it's simply a case of who gets asked about the character. He said, it depends on which co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles you ask. If you ask me, I always saw April O'Neil as white. If you ask Kevin, I suspect he would say, as he has in a number of interviews, that she was of mixed race, much like his former girlfriend, April.
They didn't decide to get together and figure out a middle ground for like,
yeah, like
you couldn't have a meeting real quick. Like, all right, so what's going on with April?
Which explains why there are such wide discrepancies in April's appearance in various TMNT media, and because like they didn't come to they didn't meet and
oh no, they met in the middle. They said, yeah, we're just gonna make her white.
Yeah, they did. Right? Yeah, they initially did.
Like,
that's
dang.
true. Mm-hmm. So as such, the character now being portrayed as black isn't too great a leap, not at all. Because she, again, in her earliest appearance in the comic book, was of mixed race. So it's perfectly in line for the upcoming show to portray her as leaning heavily towards her black heritage and give a marginalized community the exposure that they deserve, but
yeah, it just boils down to if she is written well. It just depends, because like it reminds me of
exactly.
What is her name from Invincible? Amber. Reminds me of Amber.
Yeah.
Like you were black, gave her different kind of hair, but she was the most awful character in the entire show. So you really did nothing. Like it's just awful. So hopefully that's not the case with this April, because they seem to have a problem with that when writing black women. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. But Seth Rogen was just saying that he said it's funny. I was saying to someone I work with the other day, I'm at the point in my career where not a lot of people are in a position to yell at me in my job, but the New York Times will publish an article saying I suck at my job, and so like that's the trade-off. I've worked my way up to not having to deal with that much personal conflict and face-to-face conflict, but I will have a cultural institution tell everyone that I suck, that I will add self-doubt, things like that. He said yes, and they asked him if it hurt him or if it bothered him when critics said these things, and he said yes, very much so. He said, I think if most critics knew how much it hurt the people that made the things that they're writing about, they would second guess the way they write these things. He said it's devastating. I know people who never recover from it. Honestly, years, decades of being hurt. It's very personal. It's devastating when you're being institutionally told that your personal expression was bad. It's like devastating and something that people carry with them literally their entire lives. And I get why it fucking sucks. Sato, you were about to say something.
I think so. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's like a double-edged sword, because it's like this is the name of the game as far as criticism. Some people just don't hold back. It just, I don't know. And then some people do sugarcoat to make sure not to step on any toes or anything. It just, I don't know. It's like the name of the game. It sucks that people don't really recover from some critics and what they say. Like, that's not cool. But
yeah,
it's a double-edged sword. It really is. Because like what are they gonna do? Just completely water down their criticism? Like, they're not gonna do that, so I don't know.
But yeah, maybe he means like
it's weird.
Instead of being like, this guy has no business in the director's chair, he sucks at what he does, something like, instead of just saying that, just be like, the way this movie was directed or whatever, this was the issue, instead of making it personal. And I don't know. I've never read really any critiques where they personally bash the person.
Yeah, maybe he's speaking of like YouTube, because YouTube sometimes like the critics, they like on there they get a little
not pro critics don't usually do that.
Yeah, like the professionals that are on like Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, they don't usually they don't usually do that. I don't like, at least from what I've read, I've never seen that.
I can't think of it. Doesn't
I don't
seem
know.
like that. Yeah, I don't know how real that was, but oh, did y'all hear about the Daryl from Walking Dead spinoff show?
What?
Yeah.
You heard about that? I didn't
Yeah,
even know.
No, a spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Daryl
remember
spinoff.
Daryl
It's called Walking Dead
is
World Beyond.
yeah,
Oh,
because Daryl is made up for the TV show. It was never in the
Mhm.
comics, and
Right.
for some reason they've always that's why he never died, and they just keep pushing him. They keep pushing
Yeah.
him. They keep
Yeah,
pushing
well,
him.
he's a popular. Yeah, he's like one of the most
Yeah.
popular characters. Him and Michonne are
Yes,
definitely the most popular.
oh,
But
that's
yeah,
true.
his forthcoming spin-off series it needs to make sense of one of the lingering plot holes that The Walking Dead never justified when it explained its mysterious zombie variants. For a series that lasted 11 seasons, Walking Dead has left
Wow.
a surprisingly high number of story details unexplored in its universe, and you would think that they've had plenty of time to do it, but it was also in part because of the nature of the plot, which in the narrative saw the shows changing the band of survivors. The cast was always changing and stuff, wandering the country, meaning the characters weren't searching for clear explanations for everything that was going on. They were just sort of surviving, and you had Rick and Michonne and Daryl, and everyone else was just sort of eking out of existence, and meaning many mysteries went unsolved. But another reason that Walking Dead didn't explain everything about the show's world had a lot to do with the franchise's future, and the fact that the comic book and all of that. And there's 4 Walking Dead spin-off shows in the works, and I know they already had one. There was Fear the Walking Dead was out for a while, and there might be even more projects in the pipeline due to the immense popularity of the series. But it makes sense for these shows to delve deeper into some of these side storylines that were touched on during the show, and that's a good reason for all these spin-offs. And in the process, Walking Dead spin-offs can explain away a lot of the plot holes that the original show opened up. In particular, Daryl's spin-off might explain the biggest lingering problem with the Walking Dead zombies variants. For the longest time, the zombie variants seen only on the show were not explained, and that changed in season 11 when it was suggested that the variants resulted from zombies evolving or learning, and they became this other sort of creature, and they didn't really explain why or where that came from or anything about it. And so it could be the result of some evolutionary shift, among the undead, since a lot of time has passed since the apocalypse. But I think on a whole, this explanation is definitely gonna fall apart under scrutiny, because Rick encountered the variants in season 1 long before they could have evolved. So it really can't be so they really have to explain that. I don't know how many of you guys are real Walking Dead fans, but I sort of fell off at like season 8 or something like that's kind of where I stopped. So these last few seasons I haven't seen, but I did go back and watch some of the later ones, and they really go far off on tangents that, like, I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about anymore. So I don't know. I think that's probably what this show will be about. But Daryl's a cool character. I mean, it was a dope character.
Yeah, we like Daryl. Yeah.
We like Daryl. But it's basically supposed to address this lingering mystery for 2 reasons. For one thing, Daryl's status as a fearless killer means that the character is better equipped to take on these variant zombies and survive, and it means that it wouldn't be jarring or unusually unrealistic for Daryl to face off against them and kill them, and Daryl's familiarity with means the spinoff will need a hook, and so they're gonna need something different. It can't just be more Walking Dead with Daryl, because Daryl's already in the Walking Dead. So this new villain, these new variants, it's like a new monster. It's like a new enemy. So that's probably what they're gonna do with that.
I have some news concerning Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Marvel has asked a federal district court to issue a subpoena to compel Reddit to identify the people responsible for leaking the script to that movie.
What?
Yes, it just came from Variety like 2 hours ago.
Whoa!
Oh my god. They leaked it 1 month before it came out in theaters. The 63-page transcript.
Holy shit!
Oh
I
my
didn't know
god.
that.
Yeah, I
didn't
just
even-
saw it on Instagram just now, and then it had
Somebody-
a Variety.
I didn't even know they
Yeah.
leaked the script.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know
'cause
that
they-
either.
Yeah. How you think I read the Black Panther script? The rewrite.
Oh
It was on
shit!
Reddit. It was on Reddit, bro.
Oh,
That was
really?
a real script. It blew me
Oh,
away when I
wow.
read. I was like, yo. And then that's why I watched the movie. So I was like, yo. When I went back and watched it, I said, okay, I could see where they could have changed this for that and this for that. But remember, I was like, yo, I think the script that they wrote for the original movie was way better than the rewrites that they wrote. Not saying
Yeah.
the movie was bad, because I like Black Panther: Wakanda Returns. I'm gonna watch it
I know
again
you
probably
do.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
something like that.
You're
But
gonna go
that's
for a
for
world
another show.
record, Sid.
But it was mainly about the decisions that T'Challa made in the last movie and how they came back to bite him with Namor and everything else, and how he had a son and how he felt that he wasn't comfortable with his son living in Wakanda after the Telecanians attacked Wakanda. So that in the original right, he sent the son and the mother to live outside of Wakanda.
Mm.
And once and that was for their own good, because he was just too afraid, once his mother passed, that who could be next, and that maybe he should go back and revisit the things that his father talked about keeping Wakanda safe. And his father told him, you tell them about vibranium and it's going to be we're going to always be fighting somebody. And he
Right.
just never thought it would be somebody as powerful as Wakanda. That was the big thing.
Right.
But yeah, Reddit will leak some. Listen, Reddit will do you dirty. I don't care what nobody tell you.
Oh, yeah.
They'll do you dirty. They'll leak your
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's saying a Reddit spokesperson declined to say if the company intended to comply with the information requested by Marvel.
Oh shit!
Oh my god. Oh, they also filed a DMCA subpoena requesting similar info from Google after someone allegedly shared the document to Google Docs.
Oh wow!
Oh no.
Dude.
Oh, this is not good. Holy
That's funny.
smokes.
Wow. Listen, we live in that age where people do that. They leak
Yeah.
the movie. We've talked about it on here where
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
people,
People make
They
it
wanna
their
be the
livelihood
first-
to just leak,
Yeah.
leak,
Yeah.
leak.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
Oh man. Did you see the new speaking of vibranium, there's rumors that the new Captain America, I think, movie is going to be about adamantium, about them finding adamantium and
oh boy.
all of that. So it could be like, that lead up to Wolverine that we've been
Oh
waiting
yeah,
on.
maybe so. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, well, we kind of used vibranium enough. Let's move over to another
Mhm.
source.
They gotta bring it. Because a few characters in the Marvel universe have antimatter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like they tell you in the comic, it wasn't a lot of it. And the stuff that they got, they
Yeah.
made sure they used it. And Wolverine was the one that got a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
So
I just
you know,
want to know how
they
they're gonna make that work, because it's gonna be him. The leader's supposed to be the bad guy. I don't know how that's all gonna fit together. Like, why would the leader want adamantium? But I'm sure they'll
Mhm.
explain that. So
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, because that doesn't have nothing to do with adamantium. That's weird. So yeah, we'll see, man. Who knows? But speaking of the leader and I guess Hulk, Did y'all hear about the new character, Bedlam?
Bedlam.
No, enlighten me.
This is Venom. This is Eddie Brock's new form, Bedlam.
Oh.
And so spoiler alert for Venom number 17, y'all, but this is so cool. This character is like the Hulk. It's like Venom, but just like the Hulk. Like I said, Venom number 17. Eddie Brock is stuck in the form of Bedlam, which is the monstrous symbiote entity that is his rage personified. And he's stuck in limbo, and Venom's new form battles its way across like the wasteland, just showing off his incredible powers and even greater strength than and the unprecedented ability to resist the techno-organic virus, which is a thing in Marvel that is the thing that the character Cable. The reason that he's got the one metal arm and the glowing eye is because the techno-organic virus started to take over his body, and he used his telekinesis and telepathy and all of that to keep it at bay because it'll just take over his whole body, and he'll turn into all metal and wires and then just be dead. So, and that's what happens. But so that's the techno-organic virus. Apocalypse fucked with it. Mr. Sinister fucked with it. So it's a well-known thing. And this issue, okay, of Venom number 17 is written by Al Ewing, which is significant because Al Ewing wrote Immortal Hulk, which is the horror comic version of the Hulk, and really explains the Hulk, really explains how the Hulk is not just a science experiment gone wrong, but he's actually part of this connected to this other dimension, this section of hell that through the green door, and it's like so he's immortal. So basically, when Bruce Banner dies, or when the Hulk dies, it doesn't matter how he dies. He could be liquefied. He's gonna go into hell, into that pocket of hell that he's from, and be reborn again, fully formed and fully repaired and shit. So that's why he's Immortal Hulk. Phenomenal. If you have not read Immortal Hulk, you're not doing comics right. Go get Immortal Hulk. You need to read it. One of the best things out there. But anyway, so he wrote this, and in the recently concluded Dark Web event, Eddie Brock was manipulated by both Madeline Pryor, the Red Goblin, and Ben Reilly, the current Amazing Spider-Man, and now going by the name Chasm. And so Eddie was left a shell of himself, holding onto his old grudges and his only firm memories. And now Eddie Brock is falling through space and time, just in this limbo state, ultimately landing in the dimension of limbo in his Bedlam form. And the narration describes the form as Eddie's rage made flesh. And with his mind wiped by the events of Dark Web, Venom is now a mindless brute who fights and even speaks like the Hulk. I'm trying to get the picture where y'all can see. Yeah, so he says he's like, yes. Oh no, that's not him talking. But it says down at the bottom, it says Eddie's rage made flesh. He's bottled up a lot of it, and with his good memories wiped, those allies again, there's nothing keeping the cork in.
Sheesh.
Yeah. And the techno, so Bedlam / Venom is attacked by techno-organic demons who infect him with their techno-organic virus, but he is able to shrug it off, and almost no being is capable of resisting this infection. Like I said, Cable keeps it at bay with telepathy, which Strife is Cable's. So Strife is a clone of Cable. So if you want to know what Cable is capable of, if he wasn't constantly using his powers to keep that techno-organic virus at bay, look at Strife. Strife is basically Gable without those restrictions. But so anyway, so Bedlam is capable of resisting the techno-organic virus, which is huge, and you know, it's conquered countless planets. I mean, the virus has taken over whole planets throughout Marvel's history, but it's clear that Bedlam can tap into Eddie's buried potential as the new King in Black, because if you remember the King in Black event, and where Venom, had the wings and all that. So Venom killed the King in Black and now is the King in Black. And so Bedlam continues to rampage across Limbo and ultimately come into battle with Darkoth, who is the death demon ruler of Limbo. And the two fight, and Bedlam's, actions seemingly split the timeline, which create one outcome where he wins and one outcome where he loses. And Dark Web, the crossover event, Dark Web, like I said, left Eddie Brock, in shambles. He's just, a shell of himself. But it is just the latest incident to have befallen him since he's become the King of Black. This is really the first real issue that he's gone through. He left Earth behind. His son Dylan bonded with his old Venom symbiote. So the actual symbiote that was Venom on Earth is now bonded with his son Dylan. So Eddie Brock is Venom, but not that Venom. It's almost like he's Venom without the symbiote. It's weird. And so, but Dylan's on Earth fighting, and Eddie has explored space and time and discovered a future form of himself called Meridius. Okay, Meridius rules over a gang of kings in black from across time, right? All the kings in black from different eras, and this major dude named Meridius, who is a future version of Venom. I'm telling y'all, man, this new Venom run is insane.
It sounds insane. Oh my god,
it is brilliant. So Meridius, like I said, he's ruling over all the kings in black who form this the brutal Bedlam, and they all come together and become Bedlam, this big monster. And but in a horrifying twist, it was revealed that all of these future kings in black are versions of Eddie just waiting to take shape. So now that Venom has become Bedlam, fans are, we're getting to see that process unfold. And part of what makes Bedlam, so dope is that he is Eddie's anger and rage given form, right? He's just, it's like all that rage is manifested into this creature. And just like the Hulk is for Bruce Banner, the Hulk is motivated by anger, right? And he grows more powerful with the angrier he gets, right? The more you piss him off, the stronger he gets. In this issue, Bedlam is just like that in the way of, using simple words, how Hulk does, as well as, coming up with basic nicknames for people he's fighting, just like Hulk does. So like Hulk fans that have been missing that classic Hulk, this is your guy now.
This hot characters.
Yeah, right. And so but like the Hulk, he seemingly grows more powerful, as he's facing his enemies and all of that, who, force him to, basically explore his limits as they come across. Interestingly enough, Al Ewing, like I said, recently finished the award riddled, acclaimed run on Immortal Hulk, which again, man, I can't stress enough. You need to read that, which expanded the big, Hulk's mythology, revealing that Bruce Banner is connected to an eldritch being known as the One Below All. So in Marvel, there is all these gods and entities and Galactus and the living tribunal and eternity. And then there's this one God that's just known as the One Above All. And that's, that's like God. That's be like the Judeo-Christian God. Like in Marvel, it's called the One Above All. That's the God of everything. There's the One Below All that I don't know if it was ever invented before Immortal Hulk or not, but I think Al Ewing created it for Immortal Hulk, and it's
I think
clear
it
that
was,
the story is meant.
because I got the comic. I have the comic.
Yeah, Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think it was before. Let
yeah,
me see.
and
Hang on.
so
Let me
it's
see something.
definitely clear
Let me
that
see if
this
it's got
story,
Immortal Hulk on.
for one thing, I mean, I know for a fact the story is meant to draw comparisons between Bedlam and Hulk, and that's so it's Al Ewing who wrote Immortal Hulk, and now he's writing this, and he's not even like hiding the fact that he's making this character in the Hulk's image, and like Al Ewing's Hulk, Venom is the rage fueled destroyer, and tapped into this cosmic force of evil, and as Meridius, his Eddie's future self, manipulates Eddie towards a goal that we don't know what it is yet. So again, this is just number 17 here, so we don't know where this is going, but it's crazy so far. You got to check it out. So if Bedlam is Eddie Brock's rage given form, then it's gonna have a lot of rage to draw on. And Venom's life has been a parade of sights and slights and injustices, and just he's just been done dirty. He's been dealt
Oh
a
yeah.
shitty hand always. Yeah, I mean Eddie Brock has never had it easy, and it just left him angry and left him bitter, and for a lot of years, and his experiences with Spider-Man especially, and since becoming King in Black, Venom has tried to sort of temper those violent rages, but Bedlam, his Hulk form, basically gives us that sort of callback to his his days of being the most brutal Venom that he's ever
Yeah.
been. Yeah, very, very cool. So Venom 17 is now on sale. You guys can check it out. But
Very
that's
nice.
very
Yes.
cool.
Immortal
Very, very
Hulk. Yes, Immortal Hulk.
9.8
Immortal Hulk
slab.
number 12.
Oh my god! Look at that.
Yes, Immortal
Yeah,
Hulk
yeah,
number
yeah.
12, sir.
Oof.
Yes, sir. Let me take it out of plastic so you can
Look
get a
at
better
that.
look.
Bam.
Take it out the bag. Circumstances. What up, yo?
Hello.
Yeah,
Right?
Immortal Hulk number
Sounds
12.
good.
Yeah, that is fire, dude. That's so Immortal Hulk, man, is a great run. And yes, original origin. This Venom run is crazy too. So yeah, go pick up that Hulk, Immortal Hulk. This dude just showed y'all that is phenomenal. And then this Venom run is crazy. And the art's great. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, that looks beautiful.
Yes.
That does.
That'll haunt my
Eddie Brock is a fan.
dreams.
Yeah, Eddie Brock is also a fan favorite, man. Like people love Brock as Venom. They love to see what happens between him and Venom, and how everything turns out between those two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be, hard pressed to see how this all turns out
Mhm.
for Eddie Brock.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it looks cool.
It does.
It does.
It really does.
I can't
It
wait
really
to
does,
see where it goes next. And you were talking about Invincible earlier, Sada.
Yeah, I mentioned that for a second.
Yeah, Invincible. So I found this list of comics that you would like if you like Invincible.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
Miracle Man is so long before Alan Moore became the world famous guy on the heels of Watchmen. He and the artist Gary Leach published a darker, more realistic take on an old British hero named Marvel Man. And the series launched in 1982. It was in a short-lived UK magazine called Warrior, which also hosted another of Moore's works, V for Vendetta, which they made a movie about. You guys might have heard of V for Vendetta.
Oh, yeah, I've heard good things.
The Guy Fawkes. You've probably seen the Guy Fawkes mask a bunch of times. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But however, due to complaints from Marvel, the title of the book was changed from Marvel Man to Miracle Man. And when Eclipse Comics bought the series to the USA in the mid '80s, they had to switch the name. And After about 16 issues, Moore passed the series on to then relative newcomer Neil Gaiman, who you may know from he made Sandman and all that. But after issue number 24 came out in 1993, Eclipse ceased operations and the story was left hanging. So now Gaiman and the artist Mark Buckingham are finally getting the chance to continue their story, ironically, at Marvel, which has reprinted the entire series to date, albeit with Moore's name taken off at his behest. As a massively influential look at superheroes as god figures and what happens to society because of them. It's kind of like The Boys in a way, sort of, but deeper or bigger on a bigger scale. Miracle Man clearly inspired a lot of the destruction and carnage, of the battle between Invincible and, his dad. Right. I didn't want to spoil it, but yeah, and then
Omni-Man. Yeah,
Omni-Man, right. And speaking of Marvel, this is from Marvel. So the Ultimates. The Ultimates, Marvel's Ultimate Universe, some of the best Marvel shit, period.
Yeah, kind of helped inspire the MCU folks.
The MCU, absolutely. That's where we got the Nick Fury, Samuel L. Nick Fury, and all of that. And in the early years of the 21st century, Marvel debuted the Ultimate line. Every comic was Ultimate this, Ultimate that, Ultimate this. It was a new sort of fresh, streamlined takes on its old characters and their decades long continuities. This was the way for them to sort of have a renaissance after they filed for bankruptcy in the 1990s and almost went under, basically to recreate their top tier characters and in a modern context without rebooting the entire line. And so there's a lot of Ultimate comics, but for sheer Invincible-esque violence and all of that, you can't get much bigger than Mark Millar and Brian Hitch's The Ultimates, which follows this universe. Instead of the Avengers, they're called the Ultimates. So that's like they're the Avengers, but not. But it's a very big, widescreen comic. Really, cinematic. It was popular enough to influence the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like you just said, Sada. And it even features the alien villains of the first Avengers. The Chitauri from the movie is from the Ultimate Comics, but they do take on a slightly different form here than they did on screen. But the characterizations of Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, the Hulk, and the rest are much edgier, than they were in the mainstream Marvel books from before the Ultimates. And not always for the better. Some of them were not like the Iron Man. I don't like the new Iron Man design or any of that. So some of them weren't better. But that said, the series is definitely of its time. And with a plot focused on superpowered versions of the War on Terror, stuff like that. So in that sort of way, it's like a violent comic version of now, kind of like Invincible is. And DC, that the Super Sons book, the team up between Superman and Batman's son, is not new. That first published iteration of the Super Sons actually dates back to 1973. The Peter J. Tomasi, a writer who has written extensively for DC, including stints on Superman and Batman, revived the concept for DC's Rebirth phase in 2016. And this time, Super Sons pairs the Rebirth era iteration of Superboy, Jonathan Kent, with Damian Wayne, the new Robin. And it was a 17-issue run, chronicling their little adventures. So that but it's actually is actually pretty like violent, and it doesn't. It's not like for kids just because it's about these kids. If you know, so doesn't sound familiar after watching Invincible, and I'm not, but you'll get it when you check it out. Batman's kid, you know, Damian Wayne is dope. But again, I know Sada don't like him. They did an animated movie too, based on Super Sons, which just came out. Last year. Yeah. Which I don't.
It wasn't bad. I watched it. It wasn't bad. It was okay.
It was
It's watchable. It's watchable.
It is. It's kind of watchable.
It's decent. It's decent. It's not bad.
Yeah. Dipping into the anime world, I gotta say, My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah, I know you have very much boasted about My Hero Academia.
My homies, they chill with me right here. So it's a great it's extremely popular in Japan. Big anime, manga, turned into anime. Kohei Hirakashi is the guy that created it, and he is without a doubt the biggest X-Men and Spider-Man fan in anime. This whole anime is basically the manga version of the X-Men. I mean, it ticks many of the same boxes as Invincible too. I mean, superhero, teenage villain, teenagers, teenage villains, all of that. Big world-shattering battles, drama between super dads and super sons. So all that's there. But in this world where almost everyone, like 85% of the world's population has what they call a quirk. And the quirk usually gives them some super ability. It's kind of like a mutant's mutation. So a mutant would be born with a mutant power. In the manga, they call it a quirk. And the main character, Izuku Midoriya, was born with no quirk. He's one of the few in the population that was born without one of these mutations. And after he shows off his selflessness in a dangerous, situation where there's a villain that's like fighting these or hurting these people. And remember, he's a little kid. He's got no powers. He's not, one of the people with quirks. But he doesn't care. He's a hero. He runs in, and tries to save the day. And the big like Superman of the guy, this guy, All Might, and All Might sees him, and he's like, this kid is special, and that sort of sets off a chain of events that leads to Midoriya and All Might meeting, and then. So we find out later that All Might has a power that is passed down from person to person, and the power is called One for All, and that's the name of his quirk. So everyone's quirk has a name. It's really cool, and so each character has a name. Their power has a name, so it's very much like the X-Men. I mean, you really can see the parallels. It's a lot more like X-Men than Invincible, but if you like Invincible, I think you like this show too. But so yeah, this kid with no power, he gets the power passed down from the biggest superhero in the world at the time, who knows he doesn't have a power. And because 85% of the population has these quirks, they have schools, they have high schools and all of this that are for learning how to use your quirk and all of that and become professional heroes. So there's professional heroes, like as in professional, as in they get paid, they have advertisers, they have agents. I mean, they're professional heroes. And because they're a villain. So with 85% of the population being born with a quirk, just like in the X-Men, just because I have a quirk doesn't mean I'm a superhero. I might be an asshole. I might be a bad guy. So I'm now a super villain. And so that's where the super villains come in. And these kids are learning how to use their powers, and they're kids, teenagers, and they have to end up fighting these other villains and stuff. So it's dope, but it's definitely a love letter to American superhero comics. My Hero Academia, hands down. That's why I love it, because it's Marvel in manga. but it's different. It's not like where we have Marvel animes, but they're about Marvel characters. This is a completely new, completely original, completely creative thing, but you can definitely see the parallels. You know what I mean? It's in the coolest way, in the coolest, most respectful way that he does it. The creator, Kohei Horikoshi, even draws the characters. All Might, like like this guy, he's like an American superhero. I mean, he even talks like, "Oh, I am here," like that. It's so like over the top, Superman kind of deal, and like oh. So, but it's funny, and one particular note for Invincible fans is the ongoing drama involving the number 2 hero, Endeavor, and his sons, Todoroki and Dabi. Dabi's a villain. And but it's very dramatic, between those two. And so that's the similarity, I think, with Invincible, with the two, the father and son deal. Another one kind of like that, One Punch Man. I don't know if you've seen that. That's a really good one.
Yeah, that one's not bad.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Yeah. Which is about a guy that is so powerful that any villain that he fights, basically, he can beat him with one punch. Which it's kind of like a satire on how anime, manga, shonens, like characters like Goku and stuff are always like, no matter what, they can always beat the bad guy. They're always, no matter how powerful the bad, they're just a little more powerful. They can always be stronger. They can always beat the guy and stuff. And so it's a satire show, very comedic. It's funny, which is similar to Invincible in that way. But that's really that's a good one. What else? Ultimate Spider-Man, again from the Ultimate Universe. Young Avengers. What else? The Boys. Obviously, The Boys is just like Invincible.
Ultimate
Teen
Wolverine.
Titans, Judas
Ultimate
Contract.
Iron Man.
Really?
That was all right. That was all right. Wasn't bad.
No. wait, like the animated flick,
thought
or
it-
like
Yeah, the animated. I thought it could have been better, but it was.
yeah, me too.
It was watchable. I could watch it, but I ain't love it. But I watched it, and it was.
Agreed.
It was
I'm with you.
What? Judas Contract?
Yeah, the animated joint.
Juice Contract,
Yeah,
anime.
yeah. I'm
I
talking
think they
about
did it better in the Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I think they did actually. Well, I don't know, because like parts of it, I think the movie did better than the show, but overall, I think it was better. But just the comic book storyline.
Comic,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The comic was good. The comic was really good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. You see Beast Boy, that's
But that's
like
the old
one,
Teen Titans.
Yes.
That's the old
Uh-huh.
Teen Titans.
Right.
Cyborg,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's the Nightwing, he's got his 70s lapels.
Ah,
Yeah.
they need to like
Yeah.
bring that into the movie as like a cameo. Or
They
something.
do. Yeah, they do.
Like that would be
Hell
so
yeah.
cool.
It would. I
Hell
agree.
yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, Judas Contract. Yeah, the storyline from the new Teen Titans, which was written by Marv Wolfman, and drawn by George Perez. Shout out to George Perez. Rest in peace to George Perez, actually. And it's from 1984. Considered one of the highest peaks of the teenage superhero genre. And this one has everything. The Titans are infiltrated and nearly destroyed by one of their greatest adversaries. Dick Grayson finally abandons the Robin costume on his way to becoming Nightwing. Another hero leaves the Titans altogether. It was a seismic storyline, a very influential one. Invincible viewers know the pain of being betrayed by a trusted comrade very well, and in that regard, this story was groundbreaking. Just like in the Young Avengers, the members of the Titans got to grow up in a big way, and the story won the favorite comic book story award from the Comics Buyer's Guide Fan Awards in 1984. And the characters proved so popular that they received a second monthly comic from Wolfman and Perez later in the year. And then the storyline's been adapted twice in other media. Like the 2003 Teen Titans animated series, and then again in 2017 as one of DC's animated feature films that you guys were just talking about. Then okay, so another one is called Martial Law, and I doubt that anyone's heard of this one.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, it's really obscure. And let me get you a photo.
Ooh.
This dude's crazy looking. Martial Law. Yeah, San Francisco. Is it San Futuro, not San Francisco,
PD.
sorry. San Futuro PD. Yeah, he's got the cop hat on, looks like a Nazi with the British. Crazy. Yeah, liberty and justice. Yeah, fear and everything. But if you thought The Boys despised superheroes, this Martial Law is 1987. It's British creator Pat Mills and Kevin O'Neill brought the seething hatred of the superhero genre to comics long before it was fashionable to do that. Let me see. And but yeah, the series follows a former super soldier who happily accepts a job as a leather and barbed wire clad super cop in order to police his fellow super veterans. His biggest case comes when he takes on Sleep Man, which is a hero who's raping and murdering women dressed like a certain dressed like Wonder Woman, I think. And
okay.
So yeah, the good Marshall suspects that the villain is really America's greatest hero. So basically, this is like The Boys in a way, where the good guy, the superhero, is actually the villain. And so this guy, Martial Law, or this guy, he he's going after the superheroes, right? Who are really bad guys. So it's a lot like The Boys in that way. And the character's Public Spirit is the superhero. So. But yeah, scathing in its commentary, ultra political. Martial Law is definitely not everyone's, cup of tea, but still, it shares a lot in common with Invincible, in its grit and violence and just rawness. And it's even got the whole teenage superhero trope, going on. It went through a lot of publishers in its time. It did begin at Marvel's Epic imprint. So it was Epic Comics, and then bounced around to several other companies, including Dark Horse, Image, and along the way, it crossed over with a bunch of comics like Hellraiser, Savage Dragon, The Mask. But the last new adventures for the character were published at a now defunct early internet comics website called Cool Beans World back in 2000. But DC Comics published an omnibus edition of the series in 2013, leaving out all the crossovers with the other companies and characters, of course. But Brat Pack.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, Brat Pack is one that
I remember Brat Pack.
It's like, yeah, the deconstruction of superheroes and popular media began in earnest with the publication of Frank Miller's Batman: The Dark Knight and Alan Moore and Watchmen and all of that. Brat Pack is a companion to those books, self-published by writer-artist Rick Veitch, following his departure from DC's Swamp Thing at the time. His comic casts a critical eye on the entire notion of the teen superhero, specifically the disposable teen sidekick, right? Like Robin and stuff like that. And it was published following a telephone poll conducted by DC to determine if they wanted Robin to be killed or not. Remember, they told everybody, they gave everybody a phone number, and you were supposed to call it and vote. Press 1 if you want Robin to live, press 2 if you want him to die. And overwhelmingly, people wanted him to die. But in the current Batman storyline. But the series tagline was live fast, love hard, die with your mask on. And you can read that ethos into Invincible too, although it's not necessarily a good thing. But like Martial Law, Brat Pack is a tough read. It doesn't shy away from transgressive content, the edginess of Invincible, coupled with the subject matter, makes it one of the more gritty of these joints. But ultimately, however, this is a rewarding read that makes you think about how healthy teen superheroes really are, as well as the genre itself. And it also resulted in one of the most recognizable images in the 1990s comics, the vertical, the @ symbol hashtag thing. And then Wanted. You remember Wanted, the movie Wanted, where they like made the bullets curve?
Yeah.
That was a comic book as well.
Yes, it was.
And
a lot of people don't know that, but yeah.
Yeah. And that's another one that if you like Invincible and The Boys and shit like that, you'll love Wanted. And then my favorite, of course, is House of X, Dawn of X. Y'all already know I talk about it all the time, but my favorite author, Jonathan Hickman. He had been gone from Marvel for a while, and he came back to Marvel in 2019 with this big idea, and it was like, what would happen if all of Marvel's mutants, from the X-Men to their most hated villains, I mean, Sabretooth, Omega Red, like some of the most ruthless, irrational, like unreasonable type monstrous villains, even all of them were sort of banded together and living on this island of Krakoa and formed their own country with their own language, their own writing, its own culture, everything all its own. And how would the rest of the Marvel universe react to a new sovereign mutant nation that was like literally sovereign, like as a member of the UN, like an actual nation with all the stuff that goes with it? And those were the questions that Hickman initially raised in two concurrently published miniseries: House of X, which was illustrated by Pepe Larraz, and Powers of X was a collaborative with artist R.B. Silva. And plenty of intrigue results, of course, both with Krakoa and without, as forces gather to deal with the situation. Are Charles Xavier and Magneto, having buried the hatchet, being forthcoming about what all happens on Krakoa? Or are there secrets about this new island, that will, surprise everybody and just change the whole Marvel world? And so, but yeah, this is definitely some of the best Marvel comics out there, with story threads that unfold 10, 100, 1,000 years into the future. It just, and then there's this complex time travel thing. Man, it's too much, man. It's so deep. It's like literature, bro. It's like a real novel. It's not even like comics anymore. It's crazy. But that's it. That's my little list of cool, gritty, edgy comics like Invincible and The Boys and stuff. Ow, my tooth.
Well, Sada, have you been watching Gotham Knights?
No. And I won't be. So, good luck to that. No. I read the synopsis, and that was enough for me. Oh, and I watched the trailer, and that was enough. So
that was it.
Yeah, no, I'm good. There's literally no one from like the Bat family outside of Carrie Kelly, and even that is weird. Because why is she here but not Dick Grayson or Barbara Gordon or what have you? It's just no thanks. But didn't it premiere? What is it? Did it premiere today or last week? I'm trying to.
I think it was last week.
Last week, sure. Yeah. I know it premiered very recently.
Yeah, I thought you had watched it. I was like, I know.
Oh no, I watched The Flash before I would watch that. I actually caught up with The Flash season 9. That gave me a headache, but I did. I caught up with that.
Did it give you a headache because it was cool and complex, or because it sucked?
Nah, the opposite. Like okay. They did Red Death, they did that storyline. Instead of using Batman, they used Batwoman. They used Javicia Leslie, who played Batwoman for seasons 2 and 3, and it was just not good. It was just very underwhelming. So I was good, and then like just they have this other storyline with Killer Frost, but it's not really Killer Frost anymore. It's just so ridiculous. So yeah, no. But
I get it. Well, before we go, we have because Wednesday we're gonna do Wu-Tang and Star Wars, Mandalorian, Wu Wars Wednesday. We're gonna talk about Star Wars and Wu-Tang. But before we go, and just because I can't contain it, I can't wait. I gotta show y'all. There is so Star Wars, they make these lightsabers, like cosplay lightsabers and stuff, and they're like really realistic and all of that. And so they've always made these dope, where the lightsaber handle is really cool looking and everything, but the lightsaber itself would have to be this big plastic tube that you would have to screw on or screw off. Obviously you're not going to press the button and the fucking blade comes out, right? Well, now they have that.
Ooh.
And it's like really weird because it's not like what you would think. It's not like an antenna with telescoping, section. It seems to be solid. It's very it was debuted at a very serious technology expose or whatever the hell, a technology expo. Yeah, a big technology expo called SXSW. And this, Disney paid these guys this big these technical, these guys to create this thing and this lightsaber, and it's like, and it's crazy. Yeah, so check it out.
A true wow moment for our guests and for me, as you can tell. I love firing this thing up as much as I no, they told me only twice. Oh my God.
Woohoo! Look at that beauty. Oh my God.
That is crazy.
Look at that. Ooh.
Makes noise and it goes and look, it just look at that.
God.
That's crazy.
The minute it starts slicing through things, look out.
I know, right?
That's meme status right there. Ooh, yeah, that looks good. That looks great.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about all that.
If Disney has it, they're gonna sell it. And people, I just want you to know that you might have to sell a kidney on the black market in order to get one.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure they're gonna be $1,000 or something.
Yeah,
but
maybe a little more. Maybe
more than 1,000.
It'll definitely cost you a mortgage payment. I can tell you that now.
Well, I'm thinking depending on how many are made, it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it is gonna cost. It will cost, but the current lightsabers are around $200-300. For like the really, really great professional cosplay metal ones, like you can probably go up to $400, maybe something like that, or maybe even more. I don't know, with different shit you could trick them out, but so they're not gonna.
My son has. He has I think he has Anakin. He has an Anakin Skywalker one. It was we bought it from him a while ago. He was in junior high. It was about $200.
Yeah.
It was the official, like you said, the metal ones with the, but they cost money. Like those are right now. Those are because the one I seen that he I've always wanted to buy from him, but I could never. I only seen him one time in the store. I should have got him. It was the Count Dooku. I seen the Count Dooku lightsaber. I should have got it. It was dope.
Golly.
Wow.
Hopefully they make Hopefully Disney push that out so we can.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I bet you it won't be in mass quantity. I bet you it won't be. No way.
They dream up things like this.
Yeah. None of the ones on the market come out like that.
Yo, everybody. Marina, I want
It's
Grogu's
kind of short though. It's
Yeah, it
not
is
as
kinda- it
long
does
as
look
the
kinda
lightsaber
short.
should be, but obviously they probably couldn't fit so much, blade inside the handle. Because
Right.
obviously it's in the handle, it's got to come out. But
Yeah, I could see that for over 1,000.
yeah,
That's dope, man.
Yeah, it is. That's great. Technology is crazy.
yeah, yep. They the future is here, y'all. Exactly. It's tomorrow.
Oh, Gotham Knights. Okay.
Yeah, Gotham Knights. Yeah.
That's tomorrow.
Okay. I won't be there.
Yeah.
Thank you,
But
Norm. Correct.
The Disney parks and experiences, the parks, Disney parks at whatever, they have the Star Wars attraction at Disney World and stuff like that. The Parks and Experiences chairman, Josh D'Amaro, is the one that gave that presentation at the SXSW expo this weekend, that promised a focus on the art and science of Disney parks storytelling. And that's what and so after showing off the very dynamic character robot and offering a look at Smart Hulk in his time travel suit, he offered up the lightsaber and brandished the legit looking hilt, pressed the button, and the blue lightsaber blade came out on the stage. And the video posted online captured the moment, the audience's collective gasp, blah blah blah. I'm trying to figure out where they're selling it. But I think they're gonna sell it at the Disney parks. I think you'll probably have to go to the Star Wars.
You got to
If
go
they
to one
sell
of
it
the,
at
you
all.
have to go to
At Disney.
You're gonna have to go out to Cali to get it because that's where they sell all the
Yeah.
Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. He said this was a hard project. This was not easy. They
Yeah, I don't see them selling it right now. Because I don't even think that's going to be mass produced. Like they'll maybe make a handful.
Yeah, this is research and development for Disney Imagineering project. So it's like an R&D. It's still in research and development. It's not ready to be mass produced. That's even that one he had on stage. He said something about they told him not to press the button a bunch of times. Like they told him to only, not to keep doing it a bunch of times. So obviously he said, I love firing this thing up, but they told me I could only do it twice. So that means they didn't want him to keep
Good luck. Slow your roll, buddy.
Yeah, it's not really ready for all that, but yeah, the one fan posted a link to Google Patents, a Google Patents page that appears to have schematic diagrams of the hilt and a written description of how the device achieves its magic. And it says that the special effects device or energy sword, lightsaber, prop, or the like is specially configured to provide an extendable and retractable energy blade that appears to emanate from the handled hilt due to a lighting effect that appears to provide bright hilt-based lighting. In some useful embodiments, the special effects device includes two long plastic cylinders that are cut lengthwise. These two pieces, or blade body members, are then rolled perpendicular to their length or on their central axis, which creates compact cylinders of material of relatively small volume that can be provided on a pair of spools or reels. Spools holding the blade body members, along with the other blade-producing elements, are housed within the body of the hilt assembly of the special effects device or lightsaber prop. To extend the blade, a motor provided in the hilt is operated to unroll the spooled plastic blade body members from their reels, spools with each member or blade half acting much like a metal carpenter's tape measure. Each blade body member passes through a blade-forming guideway or passageway that acts to zip the two semi-cylindrical blade bodies together or portions along their length overlapping each other or nesting inside the other as they leave the hilt body, therefore forming the energy blade. To retract the blade, the process is reversed, with the motor acting to wind the pair of spools to reel or wind the extended blade body members back into the hilt onto the pair of spools or reels in the god damn. So this is real technological engineering. Like, yeah, this
that's
is
a lot.
major engineering that went into that. That's engineering like a motherfucker. So anyway, we'll go deeper on Wednesday. We'll chop that up on Woo Wars Wednesday. Y'all know where we at. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course. And we'll be right here and we'll see y'all then. So have a great Tuesday and we'll see you Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.